So yeah, I guess we should go into the disappointments. So Derek, what do you have?
Okay. Um, well, why don't we just get this one out of the way, and I think we all can agree, and pretty much the entire internet. Super hyped game that everybody was looking forward to, and people didn't really know exactly what was going to happen, what the game was going to be, but it sounded like amazing. Been in development a long, long, long time.
Hmm.
Got delayed more than once, and it finally comes out, and yeah.
Overwatch?
Yeah. Rebranded.
No, no. And that game is No Man's Sky, of course.
Yeah, that's my most disappointing.
It was probably pretty much everybody's like most anticipated game at one point, or
Yep.
certainly in that category, and now it's definitely in my most disappointing game. Um, it's basically inventory management in space, and it's
Pretty much.
extremely repetitive.
Yep.
Like the concept of it is just amazing. It's probably one of the best concepts in games, but they just didn't execute on it. I don't think.
Yeah, all
I don't
the
know if it's because
promises, yeah, they made and
I don't
all
know if it's
that.
because they were rushed or if the team was too small or what. But like this probably would have been better at like an early access kind of game on
That's what
PC.
they were saying in Giant Bomb, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
if this was a game that was like early access at like $20 to $30 or whatever, and then it came out fully though, then it probably wouldn't have been so hated upon.
Hmm.
But it's because of the whole hype and marketing behind it. Oh, it's just gonna be the biggest game ever and all this stuff here, and then it came out and it's like, yep, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And charging a full price didn't help matters either.
Yeah, charging full price for that. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It's
Yeah. I
pretty
really
bad.
liked it at first, and then once I started going to other planets and seeing like the same types of things, like very slightly different,
Hmm.
like slightly different colors, or the animals were just very. They had some of the same parts on the animals, and like some of the same geometry, and it's just that just over and over and over again. It just got too repetitive.
Yeah.
And I finally got to a planet where they had these like an abundance of these items that were worth like I don't know if it's 2,500 or 5,000 per item. I was like, well, I'm just gonna stop here because I knew about the update that they were gonna add base
Yeah.
building where you can like build your home base on a planet and you can always go back to it. That was another issue that I had is like I wanted to go back to a previous planet that I had been to in a different star system, but I have no idea how to get back there
Yeah, and you
because the
can't.
way the
Yeah.
star map works, it's very confusing and it's not very
Yep.
easy to navigate.
Yep.
Um, but I do want to go back and play it at some point. Like I know they just released that patch with like the base
Yeah, the
building and then
founders
like
patch. Yeah.
capital ships, but I probably will wait until even further, until like the next patch or two comes out because I'm not in a hurry to go back and play it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's everything surrounding that, like radio silence and nobody talking on Twitter, nobody saying anything, and all the
well, yeah,
promises
after the
they
game came
made.
out and all the issues people had and
Hmm.
criticisms and like they haven't like acknowledged or responded to anything, publicly. I
Exactly.
imagine because they're all working on the game, which would make sense. And
Yeah.
they did release that first patch. It sounds like they do make some good steps, but it's still very repetitive.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a while for sure.
have you played it at all?
Yeah, I played it. I played a bunch of it on PC. I played
Okay.
maybe what maybe well, bunch. I played 5 or 6, maybe 7 hours of that game, and it just, as you said, very repetitive. Same thing over and over again. I just got bored of it. Like I just got really, really tired of the whole thing. So
I played 3 hours, and that was enough. I asked for a refund, and I got one.
yeah,
Oh well.
I never do that. But
yeah,
I did that because of another reason, not because
yeah,
of the game being. Well, as of right now, that game is the worst game ever made because it's completely broken for me. So and that game is Final Fantasy 14.
yeah.
Uh, But yeah, I probably played like 12 hours. I put a ton of time into it, like
Yeah, you played a lot. I know you played a lot of
over
it.
a weekend, and then maybe about a week I was playing like a ton of it, and I just got to a point where I was like, man, it's the same alien, it's the same little puzzle you have to answer on like every freaking planet and every little
Yeah,
station that I find, and it's just
it's
too
super
much of the
easy.
same.
Did you mention already that the things got deleted as well, like the names of your plan and stuff like that?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
Like
got
at first,
deleted?
the naming your planets and naming like everything you find was like a really interesting concept.
Yeah,
But the fact that like it doesn't get saved and it doesn't get shared anywhere, it's like, well, what's the point?
exactly.
It just waste. I have to waste time messing with the PlayStation keyboard or the on-screen keyboard to do that, and it's just
Yeah,
not really worth it. So yeah, that was too bad.
yeah, they fucked up big time for sure.
Do you want me to just keep going, or are we taking turns, or how are we
Oh,
doing?
go ahead, go ahead, keep going.
I don't even have much to be honest. I already mentioned
Okay.
Mafia 3 and No Man's Sky is pretty much the only other one.
Okay.
And I can talk about a certain other thing though, even though the actual game itself is yet to come though, but I can talk about it though, but go
Go
ahead.
ahead, yeah.
Mighty Number Nine, which
Oh
I haven't
yes.
actually even played the game. I played the beta after I backed the Kickstarter, which was one of the biggest mistakes I've made as far as game purchases go. I still don't have the like strategy guide thing that I fucking order or that was supposed to come with my Kickstarter, and the like the game case. I don't have that, even though you can go into a store and buy it on like PS4 and shit, which at the time when the Kickstarter was launched, that was never planned. So I feel like people who didn't even back it have more benefits than people who did, and that's just the whole big debacle that
Hmm.
I should go back to the forums or go to the Kickstarter page and be like, hey, where's my shit? But I just kind of like also don't care at the same time.
I
And
got it for £7
yeah,
on
I've seen it on
CD
clearance at Target on PS4 for like $10, and I think you get more stuff in that than you do for like the Kickstarter.
Where's my
So
shit?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing that game anyway. It's not that great.
yeah, after I played that beta that came out, I was like, oh man, this is not. If this is the way the game is, then this is not what I want. Um, on the flip side, I did back another game, Kickstarter game, and that is Bloodstained, and I have played that demo, and that is awesome and a lot of fun. I really like the way that game is, the direction that game is heading. So that's good, and that's probably the only other Kickstarter that I'll ever back.
Hmm.
I hope that game's good, yeah.
Yeah, well, it
There's
was
two
very
games.
promising than what I played.
That's supposed to come out next year now, I think, isn't it? 2018 is
I
said.
think they delayed it, yeah, out of 2017.
Yeah. Shame. Hopefully it doesn't end up being
Shit
the
show. Hmm.
well, not shit show, well, guess shit show. The preferably big disappointment that it was Mighty Number 9 because a lot of people were looking forward to it. It's like, hey, it's like a spiritual successor to Mega Man, except with none
From
of
the
the
creator of
charm.
Mega Man, yeah. Yep. I have two more here.
Yep.
A game that I was not going to buy, but there was a pricing error on Target's website where you could get the game, which had just come out with like about a week or two before that, for $20, and then you can get it was the VIP DLC pack for like $10. So, and I bought it. I said, why not? Let's see how this is on PC. And that is Forza Horizon 3 on PC.
Oh, okay.
It looks great. It plays great. The music is terrible, and the
Yep.
fact that you have to fucking subscribe to some shitty streaming service that
Hmm.
nobody uses. Who the fuck uses Groove?
Exactly.
Just to use your own MP3s that are on your computer that you're playing the game on is bullshit.
Yep.
Yep, I guess
Uh,
that's definitely the case.
the racing's fine, but it's just the same. It's another Forza Horizon game. They didn't really do anything differently. I really like the first one a lot because that was way different than Forza Motorsport. The second one, I think they improved, visually improved. Adding like the off-road stuff was interesting, but the way they set up like the tournaments or whatever you call them, the way
Yeah.
that the progression in two, I think was worse than one. In this, it's a little different, but I don't know, it's just really repetitive for me, and I just don't I mean, I played probably like 10, 12 hours, and it was mostly because there was like nothing else that I wanted to play at that time. So that's kind of why I was playing it.
I thought the progression was better in this one than in the second game. That's for sure.
What was the
Yeah.
second one now? Because the first one was like the armband stuff, was like the green and
Yeah.
blue and
Hmm.
like the bands. Like what was the one in the second one now?
It's
Do you
just I
remember?
don't remember.
Uh,
I
I
really don't.
don't, but I know we talked about it on the podcast, and I talked about it in great detail because I took notes
Yeah.
for that. But I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, and this one you're like upgrading your festivals for different
Yeah.
regions in
Exactly. Yeah.
Australia. And like, like Dennis said, one's in the city, one's in like the jungle, and there's like the desert area. And I mean, it looks really good. It looks great, but it's just I don't know, like doing the same.
Yeah. It's repetitive.
Oh,
Wow.
another
Yeah.
race. Okay, like I don't know, like there's just something about it that I just didn't really. There was nothing to like keep me coming back to it,
Hmm.
I guess. I do like how you have a team of other players, and you get like XP bonuses or money bonuses or whatever. So like for a while I had Jeff Gerstmann because he's on my friends list, so you don't
Hmm.
actually have to be like friends, or I'm on our follow list rather, not
Yeah.
friends.
Follow. Yeah. Follower. Yeah.
I had him, and then I had Cheapy D from Cheap Ass Gamer for a while, and I had both of you guys for a while. But then I had to fire one of you just because the other guy that I found like had better stats.
I hope you fired
So I was like,
Darren.
okay, I can't remember. It might have been just because
Yeah.
I
He
think
he
it takes
barely
into
played
account
it.
it also takes into account
I
like
probably played about 5 to 10 hours of it.
That was a higher
well,
level than you know.
I think it takes into account all the other Forza games you've played, not just this one.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like every single one. So that's probably why like the stats were higher on some people.
Yep.
But anyway, I like that part of it, but I don't know. I just couldn't. I guess couldn't just really get into it.
Yeah. I had Jeff. I had Dan Reichertz. I had you, Derek, and I had another guy on my list that was really, really high, a hundreds level, hundred something. So the higher level they are, the more credits they bring back and everything.
Yeah.
So I never found Darren though. I couldn't find Darren anywhere.
Huh.
That's weird.
Weird. I found both of you like all the time, constantly. It was like,
Yeah.
oh look here, I just passed you up, and there you are again. Like, how does that work?
It was cool also that you can honk and you get your little posse going and they can
Yeah, they join your crew, and
yeah they
I
can
think that
follow you.
helps you find like the barn finds and stuff.
Yeah, they help you find a
But sometimes they
so
just get in the way. It's like, God damn it, move
yeah
out of the way. I'm trying to drive.
exactly.
So,
Yep.
and the last thing I want to mention isn't a specific game, but VR in general. So I got to try the Oculus Rift at a friend's house who has one,
Hmm.
and I played what's that free PC game or the free like space shooting game that comes with it? It's not Elite Dangerous,
Eve,
but it's
Eve Valkyrie,
yeah that. So I played that, and I played it's a platformer like cartoon character like you're a
Lucky
fox or
Tales or
something. Yeah, I
something.
played that.
Lucky's Tales or something that's
So
called. Yeah.
so first of all, I had tried a Samsung VR before because I actually have one. We got it for free because of yeah, a family member that I have on my family plan, and it came for free with his phone, so we have it. I tried it with my wife's Galaxy S6,
Hmm.
and that was all I really did was just kind of look at the menu just to see what it was because I didn't want to pay to get into games. And like the screen was super blurry, like all the text was really hard to read, and I didn't know if it was just the Samsung VR or if I wasn't wearing it properly or what. So I tried the Oculus Rift and had the same problem. All the text is really blurry. You don't really notice it as much when like the game is running, but I imagine that that's all blurry as well. I don't know if it's because the resolution isn't high enough on the device, or if I have a vision problem, or if it's because of, my eyes or something. So that was an issue. The other issue is I had like severe motion sickness playing Eve Valkyrie. Not quite as much in Lucky's Tale, but there were some moments. That's probably just me. Like I know even on PlayStation 1 playing Descent, the original Descent game,
Hmm.
that game gives me motion sickness, and that's not even VR.
Yeah.
So I think that's just me, but it is like amazing how it actually works. Like the depth is actually there, and you actually feel like you're in the world. And it's not. I don't think it's a gimmick at all. It's like a real thing that actually works. Um, like especially in Lucky's Tale, it's like, oh man, I can look around and see, and there's like actually depth here, and it looks like this character is like right in front of me, and it's really cool. Like I really liked that, and I don't like platformers really, but I really liked playing that. But it's too bad that I don't know. I don't know if I'm wearing the headset wrong or if it's just me with like the resolution and like the blurry text and like the motion sickness. So I still would like to try it again and see if maybe somebody who has a lot of experience with it can show me like what I'm doing wrong. But so
Mhm.
far, it's kind of disappointing because I like the idea of VR and a lot of those games I've seen video of. I'd like to try. So have you guys tried Oculus Rift or Vive or anything?
I haven't.
No, I seen someone tried though at the when I was in Glasgow there, like in the game store. They had like I seen like they had like demos there, but you had to book in advance for them. But I seen like someone in person use it though, but never myself.
No, me neither.
Okay.
If I might be get one this year now. I might get one a headset this year now. I just
I'd
have to
be
wait and
very
see.
curious to see if you have any similar
Yeah.
issues or not.
But like I never get motion sickness very either though. But like the only time I ever got motion sickness was when I played the trial version of Marathon during on Xbox Live Arcade. For some reason, I got motion sickness playing it.
Hmm.
It's weird. Usually I don't for regular video games, but for some reason, Descent on PC and PS1, and then the Oculus. So I don't know.
That's
But that's
weird.
it for my disappointments.
Right, Darren, what are you disappointed in?
Well, Derek mentioned one of them already. No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Basically, probably whatever he said was I feel the same way. A lot of people were looking forward to this game, and this came out and it was just a big pile of nothing, big pile of disappointment, pretty
Yep.
much. I played it for 3 hours, and it's like, nah, this is just not for me. And I just asked for a refund and got it though. Whereas like, I do feel bad in a way doing that there, but at least I'm not one of those people who fucking played for 50 to 100 hours and asked for a refund.
Yeah.
It's like, if you played that much and asked for a refund, then you're a fucking idiot.
Exactly.
But yeah, it just is very repetitive though. Like it's nice though, like the colors and all that there when you go in their plants, cool and all that there. But practically all you do is you scavenge for items. You try to get the items enough to get to the next day. You know, like build up your hyperspeed, get to the next system, rinse and repeat until you get to the center of the universe. And pretty much, I heard it's pretty when you get to the center of the universe, all you do is just start over the game again. There's no like big thing. No, it's just start over again. That's it.
Yeah, there's
That's
no big
apparently what it is. It's like
ending.
no little thing. So it's pretty much not even worth it though. Anyway, I wonder I wonder how that game would be if there is some sort of kind of multiplayer in it now.
A lot
Yeah.
better. It'd be more enjoyable.
Yeah, like I wouldn't probably find it so bad if there was like kind of multiplayer. It's like, hey, I want to co-op with my friend here, and we can do this sort of stuff together. And it probably would still be a bit disappointing, boring perhaps, but at least it'd be a bit more enjoyable because you're doing it with someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas on your own here, it's just like, yep.
Yeah, and
just
you
doing
have double
same
the
old
inventory
thing.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can increase the inventory space so when you get new ships, but like the amount of inventory space you have when you start is it's just criminal.
The worst thing is that stuff doesn't stack, or it has like a limit to what stacks. You know.
That annoys me as well. Okay, get two of the same thing, but nope, you can't stack it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's yeah. That actually annoys me in a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's the same in that a day when I played it. There when I played an hour or so of it there like a week or two ago. I don't like the fact you can't stack in that as well. You get we got the same thing, but no, it doesn't stack. It takes up two spaces instead of just the one.
Mhm.
It just Yeah,
Well, I
no,
guess
Yeah,
it's
but
real
like at
life,
least
but yeah,
the gameplay in that is a lot more fun.
yeah,
And that,
yeah.
you can
It
look
looks
forward
more
to that.
fun. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Again, I didn't play enough of that game though to warrant a position. We played
I
like an
still need to
hour or
play that.
so of it there, but I enjoy what I play of it though, and I think it'll probably be in Dark's top 5. Is it?
Yep.
I'm guessing it's there.
Yeah, yeah, because I know he played a lot of it and you enjoyed it.
I'm still playing it.
But yeah, that's the No Man's Sky. Yeah, I said Mafia 3 as well. I talked about the disappointment. It's just mainly the gameplay. To be honest, though, just got to a point. It's just I can't play this anymore. Just get burnt out, and I'll probably eventually go back to it though
Mhm.
during this time. Especially like that, I'll probably do it this month or early next month anyway.
The
Because
stories are worth it
at the
for
moment,
sure.
there's nothing for me. Like the first game I'll be getting this year is probably Horizon Zero Dawn. No, it's Horizon Zero Dawn, isn't it? Or that's no, I think there's actually something else I'm forgetting. It's coming out in February. Oh, sorry, Neo.
Yeah.
That's the first game I'll be getting this year because it's coming out in February, and then Horizon Zero Dawn. And finally, I'm just going to talk about though. It's something. It's a DLC mainly, more to do with the main game because the main game will be in my top 5. That is the Dark Souls 3 DLC, Ashes of Arendelle. Pretty much for the most part, the DLC for Dark Souls games and Bloodborne have been good. They've been great, and certain times they've been fantastic. Probably the best ones are the Toys of the Abyss from Dark Souls and the Whole Hunters from Bloodborne are probably the best in my opinion. And I was looking forward to this here after playing through Dark Souls 3, and then I played a bit of it. I was like, this is just not hitting it. It's just not hitting the highs I get from playing Dark Souls game, and just found the land itself just, I don't know, very boring to go through for some reason, and it was pretty hard as well. But mainly I think it's because of the build I have though, where I usually get killed in a couple of hits for the most part. And I got it when it came out, stopped playing it there. I know we went back to it there recently, like so I did, and did
Did you
the
get the
main
season
boss.
pass?
Yeah, I got the season pass. Yeah,
Okay.
I got the deluxe edition when it came out
Yeah,
on
that's what I had.
CDK. So I did, and just really was disappointed with it though. And like I went back and did the boss, which I had to do with co-op though because I would never have done it solo. Because hey, you know the 2 phases bosses there's in Dark Souls. This boss has 3 phases. And there's another boss and I haven't fought it yet, so I'm gonna probably do it though, and then I'll be done with that DLC. I just was disappointed though. It's not like bad. It's just boring
It's bad boring.
compared to like it's just boring to go through. It's just this icy, wintry section called Arendelle. I'll have to say though, the boss and the boss is actually pretty cool. Especially the final form. That's good, but most of the area you go through itself is just not that exciting compared to some of the stuff you go through in Dark Souls 3 in particular, and other Souls games. So that's all I have.
Well, if you wanna play that together, since we can't play Final Fantasy 14, looks like, let me know.
Yes, I'll be up for it. I can show you what to do though, because I've practically gone through most of the area anyway. Yeah, that's the thing. I gifted Derek Final Fantasy 14 for Christmas, and the thing is, it was the PAL version, which I didn't know if I would change to the North American version when I gifted it to him, so he couldn't use it anyway. Then I got the refund. He bought it himself. He can't download patches for some reason. It keeps getting an error.
Mhm.
Then he had to
Yep.
go get
That's
got a
weird.
refund for it.
Yep.
Then he had to get the PS4 version along with the Heavensward expansion.
Just $25.
And same thing. Can't download the patches. Finish installing the patches. Just get an error. Which
Yep.
means there's someone out there doesn't want you to play that game,
Yep.
which is a fucking shame.
Well, I've done a lot of research, and it's a common problem, and there's no like solution for everybody.
Solution.
Like
Yeah.
some people had luck, using a VPN. Some people had luck just like trying it over and over and over and over again, and magically it would download through like changing nothing. And I think those were the most. Some people also had luck like uninstalling and reinstalling, which I did try on the PC version first. I'm not going to do it again on the PS4.
Mm.
But yeah, I've tried
Taking my
everything.
time.
I've port forward, done open port ranges specific to the game based on support email that I got from Square. I've enabled DMZ mode, which as far as I know, opens like every single port, so you're just completely open and doesn't even matter. Disabling firewall, antivirus, all that. Like I've done like pretty much everything. And yeah, they are no help, and it's really frustrating.
I don't know why. I didn't know that was a problem though, because I never had a problem like that now. It always downloaded fine for me whenever I downloaded patches and that there. Just
I'd be curious if you have any issues, like with if you've just re-upped and tried to install.
I'm currently subscribed
Oh,
and
okay.
I went on there recently. Nope. No problem
Weird.
whatsoever.
That's weird.
Their little support email says that your ISP may be blocking the ports that are used for the patches, which I have not contacted Comcast, but I did search their website, and they do have a list of all the ports they block, and none of them are listed in that support email I got, so I would be very surprised.
That's really weird. It's a weird,
Yeah, it's
Nah,
unfortunate.
weird thing.
I don't know if
shame.
plugging in directly to my modem and just bypassing the router would do anything. I could try that, but
Guess.
Yeah, you could try it out. See if it works. That's for sure.
So if it just it does basically when it doesn't like fully download the patches once you start downloading patches
it downloads it for like it downloads a certain percentage of the patch, and then all of a sudden it's
Right.
like, oh, unlabeled to download. It's like, what?
Oh, okay.
Okay, it gets cut midway through, or
Yeah.
Yep.
weird.
And it's weird because I actually got further on the PC version, like downloading patches, than I have on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it doesn't save your progress in the PS4 version when you're downloading patches. Like you'd start from the very first patch again.
Yeah, that's the shit thing about console downloading updates on the consoles like that.
So yeah, maybe I'll try plugging directly into the router, and that'll be my last attempt. And I'll just say, no, fuck it.
Yeah. Doesn't want me to play this game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's too bad. But they'll
It's
gladly
the best
take my
fantastic-
money that I paid for the actual
Yeah.
game, quote unquote. You can't do anything with it.
This fucking sucks. So, Dennis, what's your disappointment?
All right. Well, we talked about No Man's Sky. Won't talk more about that. I paid full price for that game. Couldn't get it anywhere at rebate or anything. And yeah, I was really disappointed. I played a little bit of it, but it's same thing, repetitive, and as you guys mentioned already, all the stuff that she said is pretty much what I think of it. And the fact that they blatantly lied about some of the stuff that was supposed to be in the game and wasn't there, kind of pissed me off a little bit. But I guess it's probably not their fault. But
yeah, the thing that didn't help Marge for them as well is that they pretty much just went stone silent after it released.
Exactly.
Because of like the backlash though, and they only would have came up again to release that Foundation update, which makes I heard it's a good update though, but the fact is that's the update pretty much is like that's nothing I'm interested in. I really care about the whole base building thing and micromanaging stuff and that there though. I'd rather just explore different things and do stuff in different plants and that there, and like there was more to do in that sort of aspect of things, and I would like the game more.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we talked.
With exploring is you're not going to see much. So it's much that you haven't already seen, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just different color templates and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Yep.
color palettes and everything. Yeah. Other game I'm disappointed in is Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, which came out this year. I played that game first of all on PC, and I cannot play that game on a controller for some stupid reason because the directional, even the D-pad or the thumbstick does not work. It only works left right. It doesn't work up and down for some reason. And I tried looking everywhere, tried to configure that. Nothing online, nothing in the support forums, nothing at all. So I said, well, okay, I'll play with the keyboard. And even while playing with the keyboard, it's very, very. It's not. It's not Pac-Man Championship Edition that I'm used to. I loved the first one. I loved DX a bunch. Finished both of those games. Had all the trophies for the not the trophies, but the achievements for the very first Championship Edition on Xbox, and I think I got them all also for the DX version. So yeah, I love that game to bits. This one is not even comparable. It's very different from the music's still pretty good, but everything, but the gameplay is just not there. There's some stuff it's just very bland type of gameplay compared to the others. So that's a disappointment for me this year. And last but not least, XCOM 2 is one of my most disappointing games. I played a shit ton of XCOM 2 on PC. Um, Restarted a bunch of times. The thing, first of all, when this came out on PC, the performance was really bad in that game. Like I had it on medium and it still would hitch on the cutscenes and the some of the when you land with the ship and the guys get off the ship, like it would hitch really badly, like maybe 1 frame or 2 frame per second in some points, and that really got to a point where it was annoying as hell. Um, and also the mission structure, there's not a whole lot new in this game. Like you're finding pretty much the same types of enemies, except that now there's like this fucking big cobra thing that grabs you and then reels one of your teammates in, and you cannot save him unless you go shoot the cobra, and then he loses like 3/4 of his health. And those fucking serpents can get you like midway across the map. It's like, woo, they come in and then they grab you and they bring you in. That's the main reason why I stopped playing that game. When those enemies are just piss me off and I stopped playing. Um, but yeah, it's nothing like the first game. Like the first game was fresh, it was new, it was something we hadn't seen before. It's really enjoyable. This one is pretty much the same thing. Not a whole lot new in weapons or anything. So I played a whole lot of it, of course, yes, but it's not like XCOM 1 was. Like it's not that level of great that the first game was. So that's kind of disappointing to me,
I
to
actually
be
really
sure.
want to play it.
How you really want
I
to play
want
it?
to pay.
I,
Yeah,
rec-
I do.
I mean, I
Because
recommend it.
I barely played the first one, so I figure, well, I might as well just get two because
Yeah.
they have like, isn't there you can customize your characters more in this one or
Yeah,
something?
you can. Yeah, that's fun. That's cool. That's a cool thing. You can customize your own character. You can have yourself in the game. You can even use your character. Like if your whole team dies and you wipe and you come back, you can use the same character. Like you can save him as a
Oh,
template.
okay.
Like my guy was a sniper, and I created myself as a sniper, and you can use him as as often as you want. Like you can have a team of all of you. Like it's your character, but all the characters are you. So that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
But that was fun. That's a cool little
Is there like
thing.
mechs or something too now, or like armored suits or something?
Yeah, there's armored suits. Yeah, there's kind of armored stuff. I never got to that point because I restarted a bunch of times because I
Oh, okay.
wiped a bunch of times. So even on easy, that game is not easy at all. So
So you didn't save Scum then, did you not?
I didn't save scum. No, I don't save scum in those games. So
Oh, I
That's one
would.
thing I noticed. Like at the end, I was saving more, but I didn't save scum. Like, kill one guy, save, kill another guy, save, kill another guy, save.
Oh well, I mean, like if somebody died, I would totally reload because I've done
Oh
that
yeah,
with
but
like
yeah,
fire
it
rambos and stuff.
depends. Like if it's a new guy that just came in, I don't care. But if it's a
Yeah, but it's
high,
somebody, yeah, yeah.
if it's a
Yeah.
guy that's the highest level, maybe then I would reload and retry uh, the mission. But yeah, I mean it's a good game once they patched it up and everything, but it's still not XCOM 1. Like XCOM 1 was really really great. That game was fantastic. So so yeah, that's my disappointments for this year, I guess. So now we get into the meat, the big stuff. Number five,
Okay. Is that me?
that's you.
Okay. So I wasn't quite sure where to put this game. Like right now, it's like probably my favorite game because I'm playing so much of it. But that game is Let It Die on PS4, which is a free-to-play
Lid.
game. Free-to-play game from Grasshopper, Super or Suda 51. Has like a really interesting style to it and the interesting setup to it. Like you're trying to climb this tower of barbs, and it's like you're playing a video game inside of the game, I think. And there's this character Uncle Death who's like, telling you what to do. There's like this guy playing an arcade game that gives you tips. There's this teenager on her cell phone constantly texting, and you can get quests from her. And there's just like tons of different kind of weapons and armor you can get. Some of them are kind of unique, kind of like like a Dead Rising game. Like then you have your basic like hammer or your saw blade or your machete. There's an axe, there's a lance, there's swords. There's even like a sniper rifle, an assault rifle, magnum. Um, Quite a lot of weapons. And then some of the more unique ones. There's a bowling ball that's on this stick that's electrified.
That's cool.
That's really cool. There's a welding gun that like shoots out this kind of like electric blast, kind of like a shotgun.
It's like
There's a
fireworks launcher, isn't it?
Yep, fireworks launcher. There's a rapier that's like an electrified rapier. I haven't got that yet, but I have the blueprint for it. I don't have the parts for the materials. Um, like those are some of the more interesting ones. Oh, and there's like these poison claws, which do like tons of damage. Like if you hit somebody, you get poisoned, and then they have to, in order to get rid of the poison, they have to sit there and puke over and over. So while they're puking, you can like attack the enemies, and like you have the advantage. Um, but yeah, it's free to play. You have this like fighter freezer. All these characters you get, they're kind of, I don't know if they're like clones or something, kind of like they don't have any personality or anything. They're just bodies.
Yeah.
And there's stats. There's stamina, there's hit points, there's strength, dex, vitality, luck, all very similar to like Dark Souls. And the combat is kind of like Dark Souls as well. Like
Or clunkier.
it is a little slower, but I think once you get higher up in the tower and you get certain other weapons, like the machete especially is like really fast. And like there's a butterfly knife that's really fast too. But yeah, a lot of the once you get used to the combat, it doesn't feel as clunky. But I know what you mean when you first start out. It definitely feels that way. And it's just really fun. Like it's not like super gory. I mean, there's blood, but it's not like super like guts.
It's
And
more like
stuff.
money
It's
that
just
comes
kind of
out.
like
Yeah.
it's just like an explosion of blood. It's not like that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
It's just basically standard Suda 51 style because that was in like,
Yeah.
No More Heroes and then like.
Yeah. But there are these gore-tastic attacks, they're called. Like if you do enough damage on an enemy, they get stunned, and then you can do it's kind of like a finishing move. If you don't have a weapon equipped, you do like
Not a
some
wrestling
sort of
stuff.
a suplex or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you pick them up over your shoulders and then like smash them down onto the side. I don't know what kind of move that is.
Yeah.
There is like a belly to back suplex that you can do if you sneak up on an enemy from behind. Then you suplex them, and that's really cool. You don't have to. You can have a weapon equipped to do that. But like the machete, if you get a gore-tastic finisher with that, you stab them in the head and you like decapitate them, and then you have their head on your machete for a little while after you kill them, and like if you use it a little bit, then the head will come off, and that's kind of
That's
funny.
cool.
It's definitely more of a comical like violence, not like a super serious like gory violence to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just really fun. It's definitely a grindy game. Like you don't want to just go run to it and try and get as high as you can in the tower. You want to take it slow and like unlock blueprints for weapons and armor, and you want to upgrade those as you go. And you kind of want to have all your stuff upgraded as much as you can before you like go higher in the tower. So if you're not interested in a game that requires a lot of leveling up and like grinding, then you might not like it, although you might like the style of it. But yeah, I don't know, I think it's really fun. I think I'm at 23 or maybe 25 right now is the highest I can go,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
was gonna ask
currently
that. Yeah.
grinding for materials in that 20 to 25 range. Like every 10 floors the style of the levels changes.
Mhm.
Like in the first 10 floors, you're underground, kind of like a subway terminal kind of setting. The next 10 floors, you're actually up above, and you see like this, decapitated city. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of setting.
Mhm.
And then in the 20 and up, you're in like this like abandoned like fun house or like amusement park kind of area, which is really interesting.
That's
Um,
cool.
and I think the next level after that, I've seen some videos on YouTube. You're in some like science lab or something. It's weird. It's kind of weird. It looks kind of like, if you remember in the very end of Dead Island, there was like that area where there's a lot of
Yeah.
like they were doing experiments on zombies or whatever. It's kind of
Mhm.
like that. And there are bosses. There's mini bosses and main bosses. There's a mini boss on floor 3, 6, and then the main boss on 10. So basically every 3 to 4 floors there'll be either a mini boss or a main boss. Um, and one thing I didn't mention is there's these mushrooms which are kind of like power-ups. Some of them give you infinite stamina. Some of them just heal you. Some give you attack buffs, defense buffs. Some of them will stun enemies or poison them, or some are like grenades. Like once you get higher up in the towers, you really want to use your mushrooms to like the fullest. You don't want to waste any. You want to use them at the right situations.
Mhm.
Um, and if you I think it's kind of a game where it's a little bit misunderstood, where people just look at it on the surface and they just see, oh, it's just free to play, pay to win or something. Because you can pay to, like, if you die, you can use your premium currency to continue. You can also pay kill coins, which is like your regular currency, to continue. Or you can go up to that floor in the tower and kill your character that is dead. They become a hater, and that's like the PvP portion of the game.
Mhm.
You'll encounter the haters, which are other players' characters. They aren't actually controlled by another player at like real time. The computer is controlling them.
Mhm.
Um, and you can also raid other players' bases
Yeah.
for materials. Like upgrade material, or not upgrade materials, but money. Or there's another currency called splithium, and that's what you use for researching stuff. Um, at first, I was a little upset about that system because, in Metal Gear Solid 5, they had a very similar system where you raid bases for
Mhm.
materials. Um, and some of the materials in that game where you needed just like tons of them to do upgrades. In this game, it's so easy to get your materials back that it's just not worth, being worried about. It's just, oh, I'll just
Yeah.
go raid this guy again. I'll get it back. It's no big deal. And most of the time, people that don't even have a defense up, it's just, you just walk in, you destroy their bank and take their stuff and then go. It's like, it's not an issue at all.
Mhm.
But if you want, you can certainly set up defenses of your own. But what I recommend instead of doing that is send out your fighters on expeditions. So basically, they go up into the tower as hunters, not haters, and they're gathering materials for you, so that as you're using your main character, and if you're using up all of your healing items or different mushrooms, you'll get a new supply of those from your hunters.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that is a lot better than just going out and getting them yourself. Um, I think that is another issue people have is like running out of materials, and I don't. That's not an issue as long as you're using your hunters.
Hmm.
Last thing, there are decals that you can equip on your characters, which are like buffs, like you get 20% HP or like 7% attack, or you get like a drain attack every time you attack. You get a few percent of your life back, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So there's a lot to the game for sure, and it's really the gameplay loop, like the actual fight combat, I like it a lot. Especially when you're just going in and just one-shotting everything. That's just a lot of fun. So, and I like discovering the new weapons. There's still several that I don't have yet. So yeah, I don't know. I like a lot. I'm playing it right now, so I have a lot to
Yeah.
say about it. But yeah, it's definitely a very surprising game for sure.
Yeah, like I know Jeff Gershman really liked it as well, and
Yeah.
it was just a shame it just came out so late in the year though.
Yeah, it came out the
That's
very
the
end.
problem.
Yep.
Pretty much was announced that that PlayStation Experience thing. I was like,
Mhm.
yep, it's out now. I was like, that was December.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's a lot of people probably missed out on it then.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who've been
Yep.
playing have been digging it though, so it's good. Like I only played an hour of it or so. I'll definitely be playing more of it though. But I enjoy what I've played of it thus far. It's a
I
cool
think if
game.
they added co-op, they would be my game of the year. Because
I
that would be
really-
just so much more
that's-
fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great though. That'd be great if it was co-op in it though. They might do so. You never know if they do some updates. Who knows?
Yeah,
They
maybe.
said they'll continue supporting it and updating it, so we'll see.
So yeah. Because if it did have co-op when it came out there in December, it's like, yeah, I'll download this and can play it with Derek and that there. But yeah, shame.
Yeah. So there.
Okay, my number 5 is a game that I've been very much looking forward to for a few years. Ever since I first saw footage of it back, I think it was 2013, 2014. It's a Kickstarter game. It just has a very beautiful, lovely pixel art style to it, and it finally was released this year. And it is Hyper Light Drifter. When I first saw the footage of this, this looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like something like Zelda, like, so it does, and it pretty much is kind of Zelda like in a way, in that there's this kind of hub world, so there is, and you go to, there's like 4 different sort of areas, and each area has these like big sort of kind of dungeon-esque areas in them, so they do, and you go through each of them and fight different sort of enemies, but also there's a lot of secrets as well. Like certain areas have this like door where you need, in each area there's like this door that leads to like the boss area. You need like 4 little wee cube things, and also there's another door that requires 8 cube things. And usually when you go around the sort of main dungeon sort of stuff, you get like 4 of it. You can get the 4 that necessary to unlock the doors leading to the boss. Whereas if you want to sort of get the 8th one and try to get like the secret door though, you have to sort of go around and find certain little wee secret areas in the dungeons and in the outer areas as well though. And that is pretty much what it is there. And then once you get the 4, like defeat the 4 bosses, now you go down to the final area and you fight the final boss then. And the combat in this game is just so stylish. It's not stylish, but it's just so fun to do though. Just like, zip forth and like you zip between enemies and just slash them with your energy sword, and shoot enemies and stuff like that there. And it's a very coolly stylish game, and it is pretty tricky though. Like, this is not an easy game. Like, there is certain points where you go into a room, there's a bunch of enemies spawn, and there's various enemies shooting at you, and you just have to try to evade them. Just like zoom, 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 and it is pretty tricky sometimes. And then the arts, the actual visuals is what attracted me this game the most when I first saw it though. And then like playing the gameplay is just so much fun to play through, The thing of it though is there's no story really per se, in that it's very minimalistic. In that you go around and talk to these different characters, but there's no like speech or anything like that. It's just like these little wee images going through like this sort of backstory of these like things. But like I can't really explain the story anyway because it's just very minimalistic. But it sort of suits this game to a T anyway though, and there's also you get upgrades for your different weapons. Like you have the sword and you have like this gun you shoot though, and there's like these things you collect as well that are hidden throughout the world that you need to get a certain number of like little wee square things. I don't exactly know what they're called, but you get them to upgrade like your abilities. You upgrade your energy bar, your sword power and stuff like that, and then you get different sword abilities. Slash through enemies and zip through them and slash through them each time and stuff like that. There to get like just to make the game a bit more easier for you though. But it's not an easy game, and there's a lot of sort of, I wouldn't say backlash, a lot of feedback saying this game was too hard when it came out. A lot of people weren't happy with it. Also, the fact is that it was only 30 frames per second as well. But then the developer sort of took back this, feedback and criticism and ended up doing like an easy mode for it then, and it made it 60 frames per second. But I never did that because I played it when it came out and played through it and finished it though, because I just had a lot of fun playing it. And it's just a beautiful game that like I just absolutely loved. It's probably my favorite looking game of the year though. I just loved the art style to it though, and the music's done by the same musician that did the Fez soundtrack. Again, it's like very ambient, so it is. It's just like very just suits the game down to a T though, and just very much enjoyed playing through the game. And that is my number 5 game, Hyper Life Drifter.
All right, cool. My number 5, Darren's already talked about it, is surprising. A big surprise as far as the campaign is involved, and that is Titanfall 2. That's my number 5. Um, I really loved the campaign in this game. It surprised me a whole lot, from pretty much from beginning to end. Uh, the relationship between the robot and the pilot, uh, BT and the pilot, I can't remember what his name is. I think it's Jake or something. Um, it's kind of,
Something Cooper, I think it is, isn't it?
yeah, Cooper, yeah, Lieutenant Cooper or some Pilot Cooper or whatever. Um, it's really you wouldn't expect something like that, but it's a really good relationship, and you get to know BT, and there's like which is fun. There's like you can select. Sometimes BT will talk to you, and you can select what you're gonna answer to him. And I always answered something funny, and he would
Yes,
reply
Jack Cooper.
Jack Cooper, yeah. So I would always answer something. I would say something funny, and he would answer back something funny. And it's just a robot with a lot of personality without really having one. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed the story. There's one level in that game which is mind blowing that you really don't expect, and at one point it just there's an element added to your arsenal which changes the game completely for that level.
I already mentioned it.
Yeah, so it's Darren, yeah, already mentioned it, but it changes the game completely, and that was very surprising to me. Too bad you don't get to keep it for the rest of the game because that would be cool. But there's of course a lot of platforming, well, sort of platforming, running around, jumping from wall to wall, doing stuff. I didn't find that infuriating as much at the beginning. I had problems with it, like it pissed me off to no end. But then I got used to it and got used to the flow and how it worked and did pretty well for the rest of the game. Like I could land.
compared to Mirror's Edge. No, I never played the second Mirror's
Yeah,
Edge now, so I don't know what it's like there. But compared to playing like something like Mirror's Edge now, it's just so
fluid and
easier,
yeah,
just so fluid. Yeah, it's just easier to do that stuff, though, in my opinion. Because I just find some of that stuff in Mirror's Edge to be annoying as hell.
yeah. So yeah, I think they did a really good job with the story in the game. I couldn't care less about the multiplayer, to be quite honest. I played some with you, Darren, a little bit, and didn't really care about it. Didn't really
Is there
shake me in any
co-op in the
way.
campaign?
No,
No.
sadly, there's no co-op. That would have been fun. Somebody plays a robot and somebody plays a human. That would have been cool, but
Well, there's like for certain points in the campaign where you're separated though.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, but they could have made like a Gears of War type thing where your robot goes one side and you go the other side and stuff like that.
No, but isn't he like just standing there doing one thing, doing nothing? No, where you have to get to him or something? Wasn't that
Yeah,
pretty much the
I think
case?
so. Yeah, you get separated and you have to rejoin with them. That happens a couple of times. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed the story mode in Titanfall 2. Pretty sure there's going to be a sequel to this. Let's hope it doesn't. The poor sales don't kill that franchise. That would be really a shame if it did. Um, but yeah, it's really good. The way it ends, you can see there's going to be they're setting up for a sequel. Let's just hope that it happens at one
Yeah, it
point
pretty
and it
much does.
doesn't
Yeah.
that the franchise doesn't go down because of poor sales and everything. So yeah, really enjoyed the story in Titanfall. Enjoyed the gameplay. The shooting's really good, fluid. Um, all around you're just a badass going through the levels, killing everybody, and then when you get into the mech, well, it's not a mech, it's a robot, but when you get into the robot and just go and destroy everything in your path and fight other robots, it's really good. I'm very surprised that Derek is not interested in this game because it would seem right up his alley, to be honest. But
I didn't like Titanfall 1. I traded it in.
yeah, but I mean, there's a story in this one which is completely different from what the multiplayer brings to the table. Like I don't like the multiplayer. I'm with you on that one. I don't really like the multiplayer in this
I
game.
recommend you get it if you find it for cheap
Yeah,
now,
it's not a
because the
long
campaign
campaign. It's
is
maybe six
you know
hours.
it's like it's a good campaign. So like if you can get it for like maybe like 15 $10 $15 or something, just go through the campaign. I
Yeah,
recommend you go through it. It's a fun campaign.
it should drop down in price really fast anyway. So since it's not selling really
Yeah,
well.
like I was going here for like £20, like on sale or during Black Friday. So it was like that's how bad it was.
Hmm. Yeah, it's worth playing for the campaign. That's for sure. It's a very very good campaign. So yeah, that's my number five, Titanfall 2. So number four, Derek, you up?
Okay. Number 4. It's it was kind of tough for me to choose between these two games at number 4 and number 3 because they're similar in style. But for number 4, I put Dark Souls 3, and I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast before or not, but it's another Dark Souls game. Runs great on PC. It looks great. I do like all the callbacks to other Souls games, like in Demon Souls. Even there's a lot of areas that are reminiscent of that area, that game. Like that certain areas that remind me of that. I forget. It's been a long time since I played this, since basically since it came out. I don't remember exactly what these places are called, but there is a place in Dark Souls 3 that looks like there's a tower that's like a prison in Demon Souls, and there's these.
Parallel of Treya.
Yes, so there's a similar tower or similar area in Dark Souls 3 that's very reminiscent of that, which I like. Um,
I forget what the name of it is in Dark Souls 3 now. I just know that's what it's called in Demon Souls. But I know which are I think. Oh yeah, I know which one I know which area you're talking about, but I just forget what it's called though.
yeah, I don't remember like any of the areas. Uh,
I'll look it up here while you talk.
there's also another area where there are two dragons like sort of on a bridge, and then on that before you get to that area, there's a long pathway with these I don't know, they're like wooden shields. I guess I don't know what you call them. Where there's enemies hiding behind them. If you break them, then the enemies will come out, just like in the very first level in Demon Souls 1-1.
Ethereal Dungeon. That's what it was.
Okay, that was in Dark Souls 3. So that was another callback, and there's just like a ton of those that are calling back to other Souls games, which I really like. One thing I guess I don't like about the game is I never really felt completely satisfied with my character build, and I haven't gone back and like experimented with the different types, like dex or strength or magic or anything like that. I think I ended up, what do they call it, like a quality build where you have a balance between strength and dex, I think is what I ended up having.
Yeah, like I kind of went through more like magic way though, but the like magic and dex though as well though, and that's kind of why this is like the one that I had to do co-op more than previous ones, because I just felt like my character is so weak in terms of I just got hit like once or twice and it was dead for the most part against bosses. Like I was doing decent damage for the most part,
yeah.
but just dying.
Yeah, I felt similar as well, but although I wasn't a magic, I think I initially wanted to do a dex build, but like there wasn't weapons that I liked for dex, and I ended up doing kind of more of a mix between dex and strength. I'm trying to think how many bosses I did co-op. I know I did, what's his name, the secret end boss or whatever, like the hardest boss in the game. Like I ended up doing that in co-op, even though I like almost beat him the first try, and I
did it solo.
I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have enough patience to like keep trying, and I was like, fuck it, I just want to get finished with this. Basically, is how what ended up happening. Was it Prince Loren or Lothran?
Lothric.
That was a really difficult fight. I did that solo though, so I was happy that I did that.
I forget if I did. I think I forget if I did that solo or not.
Oh, and like what the hell is that weapon called that you get in Demon Souls? And was it like 4-1 or 1-4? There, the boss fight with like the big giant manta rays and that sword you get to fight him.
The Storm Ruler.
Yeah, you get that in a boss fight in this game where you're fighting like a big giant, and like that is so much fun. That is awesome. And then you get to fight him, or if you do the quest properly, you get to fight him with the Onion Knight. What the hell is his name? Sigurd. Yeah, that is awesome. That is like a lot of fun. That was a fun fight.
Yeah. Fortunately, he died during my battle, though.
But yeah, it's been like what? It came out in April or May?
April.
So it's been
9 months.
Quite a while since I played it last. That's for sure. I'm trying to remember everything about it.
Like I played it recently though, but I only played the DLC, so I'm on the wiki here for it now just to remember locations and boss names because it's just so long since I played it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, I still haven't played the DLC. We'll have to do that at some point.
If you're up for doing it tomorrow, I'm up for it. I could take a break from a certain other game.
Probably, yeah. It's still not my favorite. It's not my favorite Dark Souls. I still think the original is my favorite. I think Dark Souls 2 is my least favorite out of all of them.
That's my second least favorite. After Demon Souls.
I kind of have grown to like Demon Souls more. I don't know why all of a sudden. Maybe because that was like the second game in the Souls games I've played. This is probably like my third favorite, probably. I think.
Yes, in terms of ranking, it's Dark Souls, then Bloodborne, but that can sort of switch. In a way,
I mean that is pretty much a Souls game, so I forgot about.
Yeah, but I sort of kind it though because it's similar though in gameplay for the most part anyway. But they can sort of switch it around given any day though. Like if you ask me one day, it could be Bloodborne, and the other day it could be Dark Souls, because I just really fucking like Bloodborne. And then it'll be Dark Souls 3, 2, and then Demon Souls. That's my ranking.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd probably say Dark Souls, then Bloodborne, then Dark Souls 3, then Demon Souls, then Dark Souls 2, probably. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say for sure, but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's too bad.
Right.
It's been like so long since I played it, so I know there's way more I could say if it was more fresh in my mind. But
Yeah.
it's been like 9 months, like you said.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. And I didn't play this nearly enough, though, because I could remember so much more from Bloodborne when I was going through this here, because I played like over 120 hours of that game.
So yeah, and that had the chalice dungeons where you can spend a ton of time in those too.
Yeah. Like, I was practically my most played game of 2015, Bloodborne, though. I just played the shit. Like, I platinumed that game and got all the trophies in it. But yeah, Dark Souls 3. Right. My number 4 is a game that was already mentioned. This is the second of 3 first-person shooters on my list. It is the surprising hit that some people were skeptic before it came out, and it blew a lot of people's expectations. It has one hell of a single-player campaign. It has decent multiplayer. I wouldn't say it's god-awful like some people claim it is, but it's decent enough. But unfortunately, once a certain other game came out, we never touched it again. That is Doom. I never grew up.
We have the same number
with
4.
Doom. I never. It's Doom number 4 as well.
Yeah, it's my number 4 also.
Might as well talk about it together.
Yeah,
then.
might as well.
That's the case.
Yep.
Just what Derek said about it before. It's just a very fast-paced, thrilling ride, though. Just the music just so fits the mood of this game. Just kicks in whenever you want it to kick in and stuff like that. Just a bit more, quiet during the, running around, going around the different rooms, and then just it kicks in, boom. Once you're in like one of those areas when you have to take out those. I forget what the fuck they're called, and then once like the waves of enemies come in,
I'm
and
gonna
just
look it
attack
up.
you, though, just kicks in, and it's just awesome. Though, it's just one of those games. Just the gameplay and gunplay is just so really exceptional. There's just nothing really wrong with it per se, though. It just feels very tight indeed, and just going through the glory kills, like the various different animations. So, and the fact is, you just like. It's just so fast paced as well. You can go from like, okay, shoot him, right, glory kill, you can shoot this other guy, glory kill, shoot this other guy, glory kill in like 5-10 seconds easy, though. It's just fast and fluid in that way there. And the demons design, the different designs of the various demons from the Doom history are just so awesome looking though, and the way you kill some of them with the glory kills, and also like if you shoot a rocket launcher, one of the, some of the bigger ones. And like they just explode, and like just their guts hanging out and stuff like that. This is a very gory game, folks. So
Yeah, it is.
please be advised. And it's just a fantastic single player campaign. No, like it's just a lot of fun to play through. And I played this game on hard. I think it's pretty much the right difficulty to play it on. I had a nice level of challenge. It was just fun to play through, and the music in it, the metal music, rock/metal music, is just, the soundtrack's great. Just fits this game. It probably wouldn't be something I'd listen to. Like, I like rock and metal music, but in terms of that soundtrack, I couldn't really listen to it outside of it though, because the fact is, it'll be like it just doesn't work per se. But it works so damn fucking well in the game though.
Yes, sure.
And credit to, I forget his name, Nick. I know Danny O'Dwyer interviewed him for his Doom documentary.
Nicholas.
But it's a great
Mick
game.
Gordon.
Like, Nick Gordon, yeah, thank you. Like, id Software did a stellar job, and heck, that's 2 for 2 now in terms of old id franchises that have done quite good when they come back. Although I know Wolfenstein wasn't developed exclusively by it though. It was done by someone else, but it was a good game. This is even a better game.
Will it be three for
Um,
three?
will it be 3 for 3 with correct champions? We'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see. But this is just a great game though. Just the various different weapons, like they're standard stuff for the most part though, but they're just cool to pull off. And the BFG though, the once you do it and just blast it out and just make a bunch of enemies explode in the various different paces is just awesome.
That's another game, just the way the first couple of minutes when it starts, it's just like, oh, look at, like get up from a sarcophagus and shoot. You're as soon as the game starts, you're in the mix.
Yeah,
As soon as
yeah,
it starts.
exactly. Yeah, it's not one of those like, okay, you just have to watch a cutscene now. Like you have to wait like 5 minutes now for it to actually start. It's like, okay, you're in the sarcophagus, go up, just fucking bash the demon's face in, right?
Grab a
Ready to
gun
rock.
on the
Yep,
floor.
that's it. It's just that's it. That's it. Yeah, it's just way to go. No fucking tutorial shit or anything. Well, there's like tutorials kind of thing, but like
Yeah,
no
well,
like
nothing really major.
lengthy, crappy stuff though. It's like okay, ready to rock. You know how to play first person shooters, so
Yeah, here
we're
you
not
go.
gonna bore you with the fucking stupid ass details
Press right trigger to shoot, plus left trigger to aim. No,
and kill some fucking
yeah,
demons.
it's just like get out of the sarcophagus, watch a little thing, get out of the room, come face to face with your equipment, put your equipment on, look at that screen, it says demon invasion in progress, demonic invasion in progress, punch the
And you
screen,
smash it. Yeah,
just go and then get to that elevator, grab the shotgun,
and then the music kicks in.
and then that music
Main
kicks in.
titles.
There, 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 there,
Yeah,
there. It's just, yeah, it's really, that game is just like a roller coaster ride that just doesn't stop. Like it's on 11 the entire time. The volume's at 11. It never lets go. It's really, really good. It's a fantastic shooter. It just flows incredibly well, you know, no matter what
yeah, it
weapon you're
looks.
using.
Yeah, and like I really like I said before, like I think the level design is very well done as
Yep.
well. Like for the most part, like I enjoyed exploring, and that's the thing. Like I never really go out of my way to collect collectibles in games. Like
Yeah,
if I
but these were
find them when
fun.
I like going around, but these are fun to do. Like I wanted to go around and collect the little Doom Marine dolls and find like the old retro
Yeah,
sections. Open up. Oh, this is the old retro section here,
a lot
and
of
find
callbacks, a
the
lot of yeah,
yeah, and it's cool as
the
well. And
dolls
also
and
like
everything. And
like the lore system, like the different codec stuff is pretty cool as well. You can look up though, and they actually had like a whole like lore story about the Doom Slayer.
yeah.
And once you like enter hell, and it's like this gothic demonic voice
Hmm.
goes like this biblical tirade about the Doom Slayer, and that there it's just
Yeah.
very interesting.
And you just had,
So
I mean, just like you said, the soundtrack is amazing. It's really, really good. And contrary to you, I would listen to that soundtrack outside of the game because it's just really good. It's just really hard rock and kicking. I really enjoy it. What other stuff is like the Doomslayer just doesn't give a fuck of anything. Like he's like, oh look out when he discovers the thing that you used to upgrade. It's like in that little sphere. He's like, this is very
He just
dangerous.
crushes it or
He's just
whatever.
just crushes it and like whatever, you know. He just doesn't give a fuck about anything, which is really great. Um, yeah, I mean, games full of attitude. When you read the stuff that you pick up on every Giant Bomb touched upon this. You pick up stuff as you go along, and you read like the first level is like, oh, it's like we invite you to join this cult or whatever that they have, and then you get to like the third level of the scripture, and it's like completely bonkers, like followers and all that stuff, and really crazy, crazy stuff. It's really well written for what it is. They don't give you the entire story like it's you have to pick up the lore and read the lore to see what's what's happening behind the scenes and everything. And I think Samuel Hayden is pretty cool. His
I love his
Optimus Prime
voice.
voice.
I do love that voice, so it's awesome.
Yeah. And the way that the
Um,
game ends is really really cool.
yeah, yeah. It has to. It sort of does make way for a sequel,
Yeah, it does.
and I'm sure there will be a sequel,
Well, of course.
given how successful this one
Yeah,
was.
of course. There's going to be another one for sure. But yeah, that's a really great game, and as I said, it's also my number four. So
Yeah, that's weird.
it's also my number four game of the year. So fantastic. It was up there for a while in the top three, but another game took the third spot, which I'll talk about a little later.
Yeah, it was my number 3 as well, but I knocked it down a place in favor of another game.
So yeah, it's Doom is fantastic. Really, really fantastic game for sure. So Derek, what are we
Okay.
at? Number
Number
three?
three.
Number three.
Number three. Darren already talked about Salt Sanctuary. Um, 2D
You'll
Dark
probably talk
Souls.
about it better than I would.
Uh, this is another game where it's been quite a while since I played it.
Yeah.
But I was like a magic build, and magic in that game is overpowered, and you just wreck everything, which is a lot of fun. I always enjoy unbalanced games where you just destroy everything. Like I don't like as I've gotten older, like I don't really care as much about challenge, even though I do like I do like Dark Souls, but
Yeah,
to a
same
certain
thing for
degree
me.
you can grind in that game and like level up and become more powerful. But as I've gotten older, I don't want as much difficulty in my games, and I don't want to. I'm like pretty impatient a lot of times as well, and I just want to have fun. So I enjoy just destroying stuff. And like in
Yeah,
Salt
I
and
can say,
Sanctuary,
I
you're
can say that.
very powerful when you're a magic user,
Yeah, that was the case. I remember
and that's just a lot of fun.
some bosses just went like that.
Yep, like one or two hits and you just kill them. Yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously that's unbalanced, and developers want balanced games, but I, as long as it's fun, that's fine with me. Um, I especially enjoyed there's like a electric attack or like a lightning attack you used. I use that like almost all the time. Occasionally I'd use the fire one, but I primarily use this. It's kind of like the lightning from like the Emperor, in Star Wars.
Yeah, Force Lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's really cool.
That's
Um,
cool.
and there is quite a bit of platforming in this, which I usually don't like, but it was pretty okay. Like it wasn't too bad. Um, you can actually jump off of walls, and then there's another ability you get where you can turn. Well, you don't turn the world upside down, but like your character, like the gravity gets reversed, so you go to the ceiling, and you have to solve some like little puzzles that way, which is kind of neat. Um,
I completely forgot about that until you mentioned it.
yeah. Well, you were talking about this something like that inside. I was like, oh, that's just like a Salt Sanctuary. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a really fun game. I completed it. I don't think I got a platinum. I don't remember what you had to do to get all the platinum to get all the trophies in that game.
It's
But I did like
mainly
everything.
beat all the bosses. I think rank up one of the creeds up to the maximum, and
Okay.
defeat that first boss like Dan. Like
I know I went back and tried to defeat the Versos without dying, but I don't know if I actually did. I'm kind of curious. I'll have to check my trophies and see what I didn't get. But I hope they make another one. I think it's a really cool game. I don't know if they will or not, but a lot of fun. I like it as much as Dark Souls 3, so it's kind of like on an even, like Salt and Sanctuary and Dark Souls 3 are kind of even on my list, really. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what more to say.
oh yeah, there's yeah, it's pretty much upgrade the maximum devotion level in your creed. Achieve the maximum upgrade level of the weapon, and there's like also there's a few ending ones as well, but which you could just like get and choose one ending, and then you just like
Oh,
save and this
I
then
probably
load your
I don't think I did that, so that's probably
save, and then just load your save, and then go through and do the other ending.
why. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
I
I
did
like to
that.
say I got every achievement in that game, or trophy. I mean,
So yeah, Salt Sanctuary number
So,
3.
Salt
Great
number
game.
3, yeah. It is.
Hey.
My number 3 will be a game that none of you would have. it's a darn game, pretty much.
Yeah. Shenmue 3.
Um, um, it's a game that's pretty much been in development forever, and finally came out this year. I think I first saw this game probably about 5-6 years ago, and I thought it would have been probably been a year or so before it came out. Nope, it just seemed to be missing in action for a long time, and then finally it was announced that it was actually coming out this year, and that is Owlboy. This game has been about I think 9-10 years in development though, because I think it was first started in development in like 2007, I think, pretty much, and then there was like a demo of it came out in 2009, and I remember seeing YouTube videos of people playing it, so they did back then, and says this looks pretty cool. It just looks like an old school kind of 2D platform / adventure game, reminiscent of something on the Super Nintendo or like early PlayStation game, and that was pretty much all that was shown of it then. And then eventually it did came out. It's it's something like Zelda again in a way, in that there's you go through these different areas, and in each area there's like these kind of bit like dungeons in a way, because each area there's a meter, there's like a bunch of coins you have to get there in order to sort of get these upgrades, and each in the menu there's like, there's so many coins you have to get now in order to, and so there is like, so like one of there is like, there's like, you have to get 200 coins now. Like, you don't need to get them now to unlock the next area, but like, it's just one of those games, like if you want to go and get like 100% now, then it's pretty much along those lines now. Basically you say you play as this owl. This is not known as Owlboy, and you live in this island in the sky. And basically the thing is, it's not like it's a platformer per se, but it's more like it's an action adventure game, because your thing is you fly around and you have your friend with you, which I think is like the player, the character you as is named Otis, and I forget the name of your actual best friend, but he, you use him to sort of shoot certain enemies, but you actually get different other characters, so you do later on. And you use different abilities, like you get this big fat pirate that has this kind of blunderbuss attack, you shoot enemies like that way on it, but also there's this one, you get the spider one as well, you shoot like webs, and you sort of like zip from one area to the next though, because it's like kind of Metroid as well in a way, in that way as well, because there's certain areas in the game you can't get to until later on, until you get like those abilities and that there. And the soundtrack in this game is just beautiful though. It's just one of those kind of soundtracks that I really like though. Just lovely, sort of nice, sort of nice, peaceful kind of music though. And then there's also those like kind of choirish, bit symphony-esque sort of stuff though, but also this kind of melancholy sort of stuff as well. Just very nice. It just fits this game very good though. And again, it's a game that I was very much looking forward to. I can't really say a month ago, because again, if we were doing this like maybe a month or two ago, I'd probably have a lot more to say about it, but just can't remember. It's the same though, because seems to be the case for me, and a lot of these games I just can't remember since they've been so long since I played them though, even though this one wasn't that long ago. But it's just a nice game. I just loved playing through it though. I just really enjoyed it though. It's my number 3 game. I just absolutely loved playing through from start to finish though, and fighting the different bosses though. It's just very, very old school kind of action adventure game though, and like I grew up in those kind of games, like Zelda and games like that on the Super Nintendo and PlayStation out there, and that's why I just like I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and I just sort of brought back that gave me this sense of nostalgia though, and that's why I really loved it, and that's why it's pretty much high on my list, because it just brought me back to a simpler time.
Mm,
So that's my number three, Owlboy.
cool.
Okay.
uh,
Number two, right? Or is
yeah,
it
my
Dennis?
number three.
Oh,
I'll
right.
go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I forgot
Uh,
last time because you guys both talked at the
yeah,
same
we
time
went
last time.
together on number four. Yeah. My number three is one of many games that I never expected to like this year. I never
Oh, I think I know what
expected
it
to
is.
play this year. I never played a game in this franchise before and absolutely loved this version of the game. It's Hitman, which is my number three. Um, I solely started playing Hitman after watching Brad and Dan go through uh, every time a new chapter in the Hitman series came out. I watched them play, and that made me want to play that game a whole lot. And then I just went out and bought the entire series, the entire season of Hitman for I think 50% off or something like that, and started playing that game and absolutely loved it. I think I finished it in like 3 or 4 nights. Just played through the entire thing. Um, I love that game. The ways you can kill your targets in this game can range from a variety of ways. Like you can go your own route and just, pick up a knife and throw a knife at the head, and that'll be that. Or you can go with the scenarios that they want you to do. Like they'll propose some opportunities that you can follow through with those opportunities. You can dress up as some famous model and go ahead and just kill your target dressed as that model. The famous what's his
Hans Kruger.
Hans Gruber. So you can go through and just kill your targets following those opportunities, or you can go lone wolf and do whatever you want. I followed a couple of opportunities in that they suggested to me at one point on the Colorado map, where you have 4 targets to kill, which is supposedly the hardest one in the game, according to some people, which I found absolutely easy as hell. Is At one point, both of my targets are standing in front of because there's like a simulated um, attack on, like you're taking a hostage, and there's a simulated hostage takeover that you do, and 2 of the targets were talking to each other in front of a battering ram, which goes, like slams through a car that that you disable, and it's like a big setup or something. And both of them were standing there, and I just went doo 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 doo, doo, pressed the button, and boom, that thing just slammed into the car, and I killed both of them on one shot. And I was so happy, like the satisfaction you get from doing those kills is really really something. And another one is you get to dress up as a coach, and you get to seduce one of your targets, who is a doctor who is developing a virus um, to spread around the world and everything. And it's like a little bit like True Lies, if you guys seen that movie. Like you go sit in a chair, and she comes in the room and she starts talking, and blah blah blah, and then you come up behind her and just kill her right there and then and there. And most of the scenarios that they propose to you are really really great. There are some that are just ecstatically funny. The way you
The
kill
Hokkaido one I seen on the Jam
the
Bomber was pretty
Hokkaido one,
funny.
which I didn't do, the one that they did, that's not how I killed that target. I did something else, but that's another one that's really hilarious. Um, you can disable all of that and go in and kill your targets as you want them killed, and you can disable Hitman Vision, where you don't see your targets anywhere. And
Yeah, if you want to play it authentically, like the old school
yeah,
Hitman games.
exactly. So pretty much, not all of the maps are great. Some of them I don't really enjoy playing in. Um, Marrakesh,
Marrakesh seems to be the
yeah,
one that
Marrakesh is
seems to be
really
the
not
least
that great.
favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really not that great. Especially I have a pretty strong PC here with a very good graphics card, and playing on Marrakesh, like when you go into a place where there's a lot of people, like the crowds, the frame rate just drops drastically in that point, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have this problem in Paris, I don't have this problem in anywhere else, but it seems on that map is just very complicated for the graphics card to follow. But yeah, this game is like a complete and total package of what you'd want from a Hitman game. You can continue playing on after you've done all the scenarios, like the season, I guess a storyline season. You can continue. There's like challenges you can do, which ramp up each time you complete the challenge. Like at one point you have to do,
Escalation
yeah,
contracts,
the
isn't it?
assassination contracts,
Escalation,
escalation,
sorry.
yeah, escalation contracts, where you start off, you dress up at, they tell you, okay, you need to dress up as a bellhop and you need to kill this person. Okay, then you do that, and then you need to dress up as a bellhop. You can only keep the costume on for 30 seconds, and you need to kill him while you're dressed as that person. And then, okay, you need to do the same thing, but now you need to use a knife only. It's like escalation, it keeps on ramping up in difficulty, and that's really cool. You have the elusive targets, which, change from, I think it's one each month or each 2 weeks or something like that.
It seems to be one every 2 weeks, maybe.
hmm
Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Where you don't get any hints, you don't get any ability. I mean, you don't get any hitman vision. You don't get any opportunities, anything. You just go in and try to kill the target as best you can.
And it's one try as well.
One try only. If you fail the challenge, and you can't restart, you can't save, you can't, do anything there. So that's pretty cool for the authentic Hitman experience. Game looks really good also. Story-wise, it's so-so. I mean, it's not fantastic. It's like a little bit of a reboot of the Hitman franchise. Like it's kind of starting at the very beginning of when he becomes a hitman and all that. Um, but I really enjoyed it. As I said, it's the first time that I play a Hitman game. I've never played Hitman before, and this is the very first one that I got into, and I absolutely loved every minute of what I played of that game. Very, very good, fantastic game that you can play your own way. You can get level masteries on each map. You can go like to level 20 in mastery. Like you can use different tactics, different things. You can appear at different places, dressed up as different people, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's you can play this game. It's with all the DLC and everything, it's probably $40 or something like that that you can get it. But it's the replay factor in this game is tremendous. Like you can play this game for hundreds of hours and never get tired of it or never get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't have anything else to play. I've done everything. It's like, nope. There'll always be contracts. There'll always be escalations. There'll always be, they keep on adding and adding and adding to the game, which is fantastic to me. So very, very good job by IO Interactive on this game, and I can't wait for the next season to be sure. So can't wait to play the second part, the second season of Hitman. Looking forward to it. So
And to think what people thought of when they announced this was going to be episodic, people were like,
yeah,
okay.
people were freaking
And
out a
then
little
it
bit.
turned out, yeah, people were not so sure. And yeah, this is episodic content done right.
Yep, it ended up being quite fantastic because you had the episode, but between episodes you had other stuff coming out.
Yeah, like the list of targets and like certain other things like bonus missions and
Bonus
certain
missions,
times as well.
escalations, all that
Yeah,
stuff kept on coming out and adding to the game, which makes it even better. So, yep.
like I just never played. Like I the reason I wanted to play it was because of the Giant Bomb videos, so
Mm-hmm.
because I had no interest whatsoever. But I watched the Marrakesh one was kind of the first one I actually watched. And I was like, yep, this looks great. And then just watching more, I was like, okay, I'm definitely getting this game when it's on sale. And I got it there for £20, like I think in November
Mm-hmm.
when it was on sale. And I was like, yeah, I only played, like I said, I only played the first two missions though, and really enjoyed it though. But if I played more of it, if I actually just got off my ass and actually went through the rest of the thing, this probably would have been easily in my top 10. But
Yeah.
don't know, just played other games.
It's also great to. This is a game that it's great to watch other people play, and just the sheer amount of joy that they have when they discover what they can do in this game. Like watching Vinny play it for the first time, watching Jeff play it for the first time, and when Vinny grabs that extinguisher and throws it at the guy
And
and
loses it.
just loses his damn mind, just laughing like crazy. That was one of my favorite moments of the year. Just him laughing hysterically. Jeff
I
also
like how
just
he I like how he took that fire axe and like opened a door and there's a big huge room full of people and just killed that guy right in front of them all.
Yep, that's another moment.
Yeah, the
Another Vinny
Hitson's
moment.
video and the one where he was up in the thing and he had the knife. He was going to throw at the woman, just like fumbling, and he threw it fucking off
Oh,
the
like
balcony.
underhanded or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. So,
yeah.
watching people play that game is another great moment. Just watching people discover stuff and, discover some stuff that you haven't discovered and, seeing what they do with that and all that.
It's like Dark Souls as well, and like that. There, like that's another game, like Hitman, like where it's fun to play, but it's also enjoyable to play.
To watch.
Watch people
Yeah.
play as well to see how they handle this boss,
Mhm.
how they've done this area, because there's just so many various builds and that
Yeah.
there they can use in Dark Souls. Where in this here, there's just so many variety of ways to go around the target. Like you can drop a chandelier on a target, you could just go and hit him or her with a sniper.
You can
You
just
could push
shoot
them
them.
off a
You
fucking
can.
cliff or
Yep.
something and stuff like that. Just so creative.
So many
In
ways to do
yeah.
everything. It's just million possibilities. It's fantastic. It's an incredible game. Really, really good. So that's my number three. So you gotta guess that the number two and number one are pretty great. If Hitman's number three, but yeah, that's my number three for the year. Getting into the meat of stuff, Derek, number two. What is it?
Okay. Number two is a game that none of you have played and pretty much nobody has played. Once again, me and my niche JRPG kind of list here.
I have an idea what it is now, unless it's another games that are number one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that this game existed until I saw a quick look done with Vinny and Austin. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
a region-free PS4 game that has been, it's like a Japanese exclusive, but they released it in like China and there's English subtitles.
Mhm.
It's like English. It's not that bad. It's pretty good.
English.
English.
Yeah.
And that game is Gundam Breaker 3,
Mm.
which is it's an action game, like a hack and slash action game. It's kind of like Dynasty Warriors at its core, like as far as like the combat goes, but it's way more advanced as far as the actual combat and what you can do, and the amount of customization for your Gundams. Like it's insane. So basically, the concept is you're you're a kid and you're building your Gundam models just like you would in real life. Like 1/6 scale or 1/20, what 1/44th or 1/100th, whatever. There's various scales, and you're taking that Gundam and you're putting it onto this arena, basically, and it like comes to life essentially, and you're controlling it in like battles. And that's actually there's two anime seasons of Gundam Build Fighters and then Gundam Tri Fighters, where that's like the concept. Like the characters are building their Gundam models and then using them to battle, which you can't really do, in real life. But everybody would wish that you could.
Yeah.
It's not PvP. It's just you're fighting waves of enemies, kind of like Dynasty Warriors. But you can customize your Gundam in like millions and millions of ways. It has all of the mobile suits from like pretty much every Gundam series, like the original one, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed Destiny, the Double O, even
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing, Tri Fighters is in there. Um, Even the most current one, which is what is it, like Iron Blood something or other? I forget the name of it. I've only watched a few episodes. That's in there. Like Gundam Unicorn is in there. Like pretty much every series is in this game, and you can mix and match parts of different Gundams and create your own like custom like badass looking thing with you know like the chest of one Gundam and like the head of another and the legs of another one, the arms of another one, and the backpack of yet another one, and it's like so cool. Like it's like the dream game for like a Gundam fan basically, and it's just a lot of fun trying out different like new parts and for your mobile suit and all the weapons as well. Like you get all the weapons that the different Gundams you use. You also have the option of using. Um, and there are also these like they call them option parts or builder parts. Those are additional little things that you can put on your Gundam, like additional swords or like a shield generator or something that gives you like a speed boost. Like those are other little things that you can customize your Gundams even further with. And you can paint them all different kind of colors. And there's like matte paint or gloss paint. There's like textures and gradients and stuff, and it's just like insane, like the amount of customization that there is. Um, the story is that you're a kid in a in a Gundam tournament, and you're going to, first it's like the local tournament, and then there's like the regional one, and then there's like the world tournament, grand finals or whatever. That's the story, and um, that kind of follows the anime or the Gundam Tri Fighters anime. Um, and it's a lot of fun just fighting the enemies, and the combat system it's similar, I guess, at the core to Dynasty Warriors, but it's a little more complex. Like just way more moves you can do, and you can actually customize like which moves you want to use on your mobile suit based on the parts that you have equipped, essentially. And as you get further in the game, you unlock higher grades. So in Gundam modeling, there's like master grade, and there's like high grade, and like what perfect grade. I think I haven't built a lot of models myself, but all those are translated into the game as well. And so as you get those parts are higher quality, and like you'll have more, like hit points or more attack points, and your character is actually a little bit bigger once you go up in scale. Um, and there is co-op, and I know when this came out, like Darren had some interest in playing co-op, but I would
Yeah, it's
gladly go.
never.
I would gladly go back to this game and try a co-op because I've never tried it and I don't know what it's like. I don't know if it's.
If I'm gonna say what price it is, because when I don't, it'll probably still be the same price. So when I checked it, I was like, I'm not so sure. I would pay this price like 40, 50 odd quid. I was like, not so sure.
It was like full price when I bought it, but
Yeah.
it was well worth it for me.
But like, yeah, you're more into that kind of
You've played Dynasty
stuff,
Warriors
so
Gundam, haven't you?
yeah, that's the only Gundam games I ever
So
played.
it's like that, but it's way better. Like
Yeah.
just the amount of
So maybe I
customization
should
you
bet
have.
this game because I actually like the Dynasty Warriors games. It's just something fun about controlling a Gundam and just going around and slashing, and shooting a bunch of enemies. So
Yeah.
maybe I should.
It's like that, but there's
Apart-
way more to it, basically.
No, because I remember you. Yeah, I remember you talking about it there, like early in the year, and just like really enjoying it.
Yep. Yeah, one of the 8 games I finished this year. Yeah, Gundam Breaker 3.
Yeah, I look after here and see where I can get it from, because
I got it from PlayAsia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I seen it on Amazon now for like the what was it? What version is it now? The Asian version, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the Asian version. Yeah.
It's like has the English or English stuff.
You don't need a Japanese or Asian PSN account to play the game. But if you want to get any of the DLC, you do, and I never created
No,
a Singapore or PSN account or whatever it is that you need. It's
no,
like
I
somewhere over there.
never did that.
I was tempted to, but I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But there's so much in the game already. Like you know, there's plenty. You don't need the DLC. Although if you're a huge fan, it's definitely something you'd want. But
Was it
yeah,
like
for a
free
long time
DLC or
What's that?
is it free DLC or is it pay?
You get some DLC for free when you buy the game.
Okay.
There's like a code that you can redeem, which I don't. Hopefully it hasn't expired or anything. But I think there's also paid DLC, but I haven't really looked into it to see what there is. But yeah, it's like a Gundam fan's dream game. Basically, it's so much fun. Like just playing around in the model in the setup with your Gundam and like trying out different parts, and you can combine parts and to upgrade them, or you get plastic. There's like low grade and high grade plastic. That's just kind of like a currency, and you use that to upgrade all of your materials to give more HP and whatnot. And then there are skills that you can get on the materials. Like there's grades. There's like like an A, like A and S, like B, I think. If I remember right, it's been a while since I played it. And as you're playing the game, fighting enemies, you'll get loot drops, and you'll get like weapons and new head parts and body parts and chest, and sometimes you'll get like a rare grade of those. Maybe it's no, it's it's color coded. It's like legendary, like orange, and like epic is purple, kind of like Diablo. It's like that. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
Maybe I should get this game because it sounds enticing.
I think you'd like it. It's fun, and especially that the fact that there's co-op, and like I said, I don't know if it's the campaign in co-op or if it's like a mission thing that you do. But,
so you never tried it with anyone else then, did you? No one else had it, did you?
I don't know anybody that would play this. No. No. So, yeah, it's really cool. I do want to go back to it to play with somebody just to see how that is. And I think if you do like Dynasty Warriors Gundam, you're gonna like this for sure.
Yeah, way more like I'm not into like Gundams now, but I do like Dynasty Warrior games. I just like playing them though. But if you say this is like Dynasty Warriors Gundam, but just better, then I should.
It's like that with a little bit of Diablo. It's not quite as. I guess the one thing I would say that it's not great about it is level design is a little repetitive. Like you're gonna go to the same areas quite a bit, and the areas aren't as large.
That's the case with like kind of Dynasty Warriors games and those kind of games anyway. They're just like very repetitive, very looking areas.
One thing I'll mention is while you're playing, if you're playing like the regular story mode, occasionally, I guess I wouldn't call it an invasion, but like a mini bosses will appear, and those are custom Gundams that other players have created that you get to fight.
So it's
cool. Really cool. And then there is also actually a PvP mode, although it's not live PvP. It's kind of like Let It Die, where you choose a list of people to fight. Right. You don't actually invade them, or you don't get any materials from it. It's just a fight. You're just fighting them, although you can win like the parts that they have on their Gundams. So if you're looking for a specific part, you can go to the PvP section and look at like all the ones that you can fight, and then maybe one of those will have the parts that you need. It's kind of sometimes they can be kind of hard. If you don't have like the right setup, you can get killed in like a few hits. So yeah, it's really cool. I like it a lot.
And that's good. I'll have to check it out now again.
There's actually quite a few of those like Japanese only games that have been released in Asia that have English. Like the Super Robot Wars games one's out and then another one's coming out in like a month. And there's like several other ones that I haven't looked into too much, but I know that they exist. So it's kind of cool. I don't know if it's like a new thing. It seems like it's kind of a new thing.
I think the Asian version of Demon's Souls had English, or Japan, some version of that had English stuff before the actual game came out in the States. Okay. And I know those games came out eventually in the States. I know like Lost Odyssey, for example, as well. Like I got the Asian version of it, and it had the whole English voiceover soundtrack as well before it came out. That's the one I got with the cool looking box art.
So maybe
But
that's
yeah,
just a thing that I haven't really
yeah,
experienced myself
yeah.
until now.
But yeah, that's the thing. I've known. I remember getting that there because I heard about that there. I think the version I got, the Asian version, I think it actually only worked on PAL 360s though.
Oh, okay.
That particular version. So if you had to use it, but I'm not sure if that was. I think that was the case though. But yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that there and see, because it sounds enticing.
What's
But yeah,
Darren?
my runner
Yeah.
up is a game that Derek's already talked about, and it's the third in the series of a game that I very much adore. It is, of course, Dark Souls 3. I really enjoyed this game. So I did when I played it. Like, even though I wasn't to the extent of, say, Dark Souls or
Bloodborne?
Bloodborne now, like I didn't play over 100 hours of them, like I did with those games, and didn't play through Bloodborne practically twice and Dark Souls practically like twice. But I still enjoyed the game overall, though. It's kind of more refined in certain aspects, though, from like the previous Dark Souls games. It retains the cool ass combat, the difficulty, the cool enemy creature designs, and the boss battles. The main problem I have with this one is, like you said before, Doug, is the build I had. I just wasn't very much satisfied with it though, because I just felt I was just so weak, and I did good damage sometimes against certain enemies, and just like in certain bosses, I was doing no damage whatsoever, and therefore I didn't really want to grind per much, so I just did co-op, and therefore I just beat some of the bosses in co-op. And like I said before, this is the one I've done that the most times. Like, I've beat up some of the bosses here, like some of the bosses. Just look up here now, like, as I've got the list here. Like I beat that Pontiff Sylvan. I had to beat it co-op now. High Lord Wolner. I definitely High Lord Wolner I beat co-op. The Abyss Watchers, I beat the second form solo. But like the first form I did co-op, and a few of the other ones as well. I think the Dancer of the Boreal Valley I did co-op. Most of the later ones I did solo. Like I did the Dragon Slayer armor solo, I did the Osiris solo. Champions and Gunder I had to do co-op because it was a fucking bastard. I did the Nameless King, and I did the Soul of Cinder, the final boss. I did them solo now. But yeah, some of the boss battle, like the actual Abyss Watchers is probably up there in terms of my all-time favorite Souls boss fights. And also the Nameless King, though. Like, those two are probably my favorite in the entire game. I just really liked it. I just love the music that's played during the Abyss Watchers fight. Is probably like my favorite track in the game. But me and Doug have talked to death about Souls games in the past here, so there's not much more to say about it though. It's just, it just retains the great Souls gameplay, the fun, co-op, getting invaded and stuff like that, going through the different locations and not knowing what is around the corner, not there. There's one area that I fucking hated in this game, and you probably know which one I'm talking about, Derek.
No, not until you talk about it, because I totally forgot a lot of that stuff. A lot of that game.
It's the swamp area, Farron Keep. The one where you're in the fucking swamp marsh.
Is that the one with the googly eyes that like petrify you? That one? The basilisks.
The basilisks. Yeah, it's the one where those big tree things are. Like
the guys that have the big trees.
Big mossy tree things, and it's like you go into the marsh and you get poisoned.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like Blight Time, but way worse.
And there's like a dark wraith in there too.
Yeah, and there's also like the big wolf. If you go to like the ruin part, one of the covenants is there as well. Like, I absolutely fucking hated that area, and that was like my least favorite area in the game though. And like I said, I know people hated Blighttown. Like I'd take Blighttown any day of the week over Farron Keep. Like I detested that area. But and also there, like you said before, there's nice little throwback. Like there's a certain area from the first Dark Souls that makes an appearance in this one, which is pretty cool. And you fight one of the bosses in the same room that you fight the most memorable boss in Dark Souls. And it's just a fantastic game though. I love some of the areas look cool. Look, I love the Boreal Valley. Ithril of the Boreal Valley, like the moonlight.
That's
sky.
actually that's been my wallpaper for like ever since I played that game on my computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very nice looking area. So it was. Like I said earlier in the podcast, like I was disappointed with the DLC, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I really enjoyed playing this game though. And like this is probably the final one in the series. I'm glad it went out in a high rather than a low, and I'm just very much looking forward to see what From Software do now, in the future, without the Souls series, and to see what's next. So like, I'd play anything that's like a Souls game anyway, like that Deck 13
that sci-fi
games
one coming up.
Yeah, Deck 13 game. That's done. The ones that done the Lords of the Fallen, which is another game I need to go back and play. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is just a great game. I just loved playing through it though, and
one thing I did in this game that when you were talking about it reminded me. I summoned a lot of NPCs for boss battles, which I usually don't do in this game, and that was kind of fun. Like the NPC.
Yeah, I think I did that myself sometimes as well. Like I've summoned other players and also summoned NPCs.
Like some of them were just like nameless. They weren't like I don't know. They didn't seem to be like characters as much. They were just
they just had like strange names now.
Yeah.
Like I remember.
I think some of them are covenant based as well. If I remember.
Yeah. Right. Like some ones of them are like called like Smoldering Joe or whatever. Like not exactly like that now, but something along those lines. Now, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't get the platinum. I didn't get all of the achievements in this game now because this pretty much had to go through the main game a few times and also like to get every single weapon and ring and stuff. And some of that stuff is you had to do the Covenant stuff. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna bother with that. It's just easy to do in Bloodborne. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is my runner-up though. But it probably would have been my game of the year if it wasn't for another game that we'll talk about soon, and Derek will enter the premises. So go ahead, Dennis. What's your runner-up?
Yeah, forgot to say that I played some Dark Souls 3 this year.
Yeah, that's right. You bought it, and we were like, "What? Why did you buy it?"
I played it all of like 5 minutes.
No. I played more than that. I beat the first boss, and I got a little further ahead. I played some co-op with you, Darren, a little bit.
Yeah, the problem was you didn't have any ambers, and therefore
I didn't have any ambers, so I couldn't summon anybody else. So I said, okay, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played a little bit, but yeah, discovered that game is not for me at all. So, but at least I tried, and maybe I can say that I tried. If I would have liked it, it would have been cool. But
well, you played Bloodborne, and you actually got near the end of it. Despite even like I did carry through that game, but you did get near the end.
You and Derek
carried
me
didn't
through
finish
that,
it.
so.
Yeah, didn't you get to Cthulhu, whatever the heck that thing's name is? Like you got there and we couldn't beat it or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Forget what that enemy. That's like, and that wasn't that an optional boss?
Well, Amygdala. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Amygdala.
Yeah, we tried to beat that and we couldn't do it co-op.
I think I remember that.
That is a pretty tough boss fight if you don't know like the exact pattern with the boss.
Yeah. So yeah, my number two game is a game that I played with you two, um, the beginning of the year, and is the game. The reason why I bought a new PC is because of this game, because I wanted
Yeah,
to.
you liked this game a lot more than we did.
Yeah.
I didn't. I did. Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, that's number two. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's the Division. I played a shit ton of that game, way more than you two did. Um, I partnered with a bunch of people. We did some raids. I guess you can call them raids.
Incursions, I think they're
Incursions, yeah.
called.
But it's like raids, pretty much. So we did a bunch of incursions, upgraded a bunch of my weapons. I really, really enjoyed this game a whole lot. Uh, the shooting, but maybe the shooting is a little off. And yes, I agree, the shooting in Destiny is way better than the Division. But I didn't really have a problem with it. I think that shooting somebody in the head and it does a sound when you headshot them.
Yeah, that's satisfying. That's
It's
satisfying.
very satisfying. It's like the pop sound that it does in Gears of War when you shoot off a head. So I think that's pretty much resembles that. Um, I love my time with this game. I did a whole lot of stuff in it. I did pretty much all the side stuff in most of the areas. Upgraded my guy pretty high. Um, Went around and especially when you guys stopped playing, I went back and did a couple of things by myself, and paired up with random people, which wasn't always the best thing, but some of them were pretty cool, and yeah, some of them were a little bit like when I play Destiny with Derek, when he just runs ahead of everybody, and I'm like, "Where'd you go, Derek? I'm over here," and didn't come
Oh,
back.
because I've done it so many times because I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty much like that. Like they know where it is and all that. So yeah, I guess I enjoyed it more than you guys did. Had more fun. It's the second game that I played the most of this year. My number one is the one that I played the most of. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with the division. I want to go back and especially since we bought that season pass, Darren and I, I'm kind of like, well, I bought the season pass and I'm not playing this game. I don't know what's wrong. I should go back and play it and go through it again and stuff like that. So
I don't know what that second expansion is now. It's like survival or something now, but I don't
it's
know what it
another island. You go
entails.
to I think you go to Long Island, is it? Or is it
Right?
something like that? But
Was it?
you go to another island. It's another area completely, and you go through. I think it's story based also. So I'm interested
Was it?
in.
Is it more like that first one now, where it's just this? You go through this, go to like train thing, and it's like this. You go through these different missions, but it's like repetitive, generated areas now, or
I don't
what?
think so. I think it's more of a story thing. Like there's a
Right.
protagonist and you need to take him down and stuff like that. So I'm interested in going back to that and play that. Another game from
Yeah, like I might go back to it though. I have to download it again now
yeah, me
because I
too.
deleted
But
it.
yeah,
Because like I said, no point keeping this game on when I'm never playing it.
yeah,
And like I heard, like it's much better now that with the updates that did
yeah.
over
Jeff
there,
said it
like
was much
last.
better. You get better drops. You get
Yeah,
better stuff out of it and everything. So that's
yeah, because that was the sort of problem I had as well. Though, was just like the end game stuff wasn't particularly there, and
yeah,
like you were just weren't really getting great stuff for the most part though, and like some of the stuff you can get though, like the better items, like you can get some of them on the store,
hmm
but they're like fucking cost like an arm and a leg and things like
Did
that.
you have to
yeah,
It's
do
like yeah,
like dark zone raids or whatever, and then you risk getting
yes,
killed by other players, which I really didn't like the
yeah,
idea
yeah.
of.
We
that's the
did
thing
we
as
did a bunch
well.
of Dark Zone stuff, me and Darren, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it was all right for a time as well. Like sometimes you get other people who are all right, and there was other ones who are just like, yep, just
Just
shoot you. And,
assholes and waiting for you to
yeah,
kill you
Hmm.
and take your
Yeah.
yeah.
stuff. So that's not a part I really enjoyed, but for the rest of the game, I really enjoyed it. And enjoyed my time with it. I need to go back and do the rest of the DLC from that game and see what they did to patch it up and how good it is now, and see the changes that happened in the game. So I'm really interested in going back, and I guess it's at number two for the sheer amount of time I put into that game this year, and without not really getting bored of it. But at one point I was like, okay, I need to play something else. I need to get these games done and stuff like that. But uh, especially another game came along, which we'll talk about little very soon here. That kind of took up all my time, but yeah, it's I need to go back to that and continue on. I did the same thing with another Ubisoft property, Rainbow Six Siege, which barely played that game, and they
I
added.
wouldn't say barely played, but actually, I think we played a good chunk of it though.
We didn't
Just
play that
like,
much of. I don't think so anyway.
no, I think we did play a good number of hours of it though.
But yeah, they
Like actually, if you can check, if you could, I don't know. I think you can see number of hours played on the
the Uplay thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know it does that for Division now. Like I actually like to know.
Yeah.
I'll check it here now and see.
But yeah, I want to go back to that also and play some more. But yeah, Division is number two on my top 10 of the year. So I guess we get into number one now, and we'll let Derek
Okay.
go with his favorite game of the year.
Yeah, Derek talk
Okay.
about it and then go away when we
Yeah.
go about a certain game for half an hour because Derek has
And we're
no
like at
interest
4
whatsoever.
hours.
We'll try to keep it reduced.
So,
I
I
have an
first of
idea what
all,
this game is,
I'm
so
going to
anyway.
say that I'm ashamed that I haven't finished this yet.
Okay.
Although I am at like 60 hours or so. Um, it is a JRPG. I think the reason I haven't finished it is just because I don't want it to end, because I know that there's not a third game coming in the US for who knows how long. It's supposed to be coming out in Japan this year, and it'll actually be on PS4 and instead of PS3. And the visual upgrade is like amazing. Basically, this is a game that looks like it came out, oh, probably what, a few years after launch, or maybe even like a year after launch of the PS3. So it's like an older looking game, but that's not that does not detract from the game. That's for sure. Um, and it's kind of more like a second half of the game rather than a sequel, because it picks up right where the first one leaves off. Like, well, I actually think it's like about a month later, but same characters and everything, and the story just continues on. That game is Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 2. It's pretty much more the same, but they did improve the battle system from the first game. There's a little more options for combat. They call it an overdrive meter, where you have it's kind of like the social links in Persona 4, where once you get your social link up to with your other characters, and then once you unlock the overdrive, which is like another thing, it's there'll be these special chests in the world that you have to defeat, like a boss, and then once you defeat that boss, then you have the ability to use overdrive with that character. And there are like 8 or 9 or 10 characters that are on your team. I don't know the exact number. And each one of those has a different. You can pair them up any way you want, and then like each one of those has an overdrive meter that you have to unlock. And what overdrive does is you go into like this super powered state, kinda, and you have 3 free turns, like 2 for the character that initiated overdrive, and then 1 for the other character that you're linked with. And then all your attacks are like way more powerful, and then you restore some HP and like CP, which is another combat system unit, as well as if you're suffering from any status effects, it'll heal you there. So with overdrive, it kind of made a lot of the game easier. Like some of the boss fights, I would say overall this game is easier than the first one. Although there are a few boss fights so far, I haven't finished it yet. I'm still, but I am pretty far, definitely over halfway. But overall, I'd say this is easier than the first game for sure, which is not a bad thing because the combat is a lot of fun and the story, and the characters you're just continuing from the first game. And I've grown to love these characters and this world that they've built. That also encompasses the Trails in the Sky series, which I've only played one of those games. The second one is on PC as well, and it's also I think on Vita. I have to get that one, and then there's a third Trails in the Sky game that's coming out this year in English, so I'll get that one as well. And then there's a third series of games that take place in the same world that have not been translated at all, and I don't know if they ever will be, unfortunately. And those were on PSP or Vita or something in Japan. But just the characters are so well written and so well fleshed out, and the story is so complex. It's not just a typical oh, I have amnesia. What am I doing? I'm the destined. I'm the promised one or whatever. And I'm gonna get powerful and defeat this the enemy at the end of the game. It's it's kind of political, and there's a war going on in this world, and you're seeing this war from the different sides of all these different characters in your party, as well as just nameless. Well, they're not nameless, but random NPCs that you don't interact with, other than you just talk to them in the towns. But even those characters are very well written, and you get to learn more about the world, and you actually care about the characters, and you care about the world. And this has become probably my favorite JRPG series, even more so than Final Fantasy. And I think that's because it's such a huge world, and it's not like Final Fantasy games. Each one's different for the most part. You had Final Fantasy 10 and then 10-2, which was a sequel. But since you're spending so much time with these characters, you get to know them way more than you ever would in any other Final Fantasy game. And they're just as well written as Persona 4, which is another one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Yeah, I love this series. I can't wait to play the third one. And I need to go back and finish this. Although, like I said, once I finish it, then it's done, and I know what happens, and then I'm gonna be waiting very impatiently for the next game, which who knows when that'll come out. So, but I just love this story and love these characters so much. And if anybody has any interest in RPGs or JRPGs, I highly, highly recommend the Legend of Heroes series, especially the Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, which is on PS3 and Vita. So I've been playing on PS3. So yeah, that was an easy choice for me. Game of the year, definitely. I just loved it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, you really loved the first one, and you said, early on last year, after playing through the first one, finishing it, you said, oh, I kind of retroactively wish this was my game of the year.
Yeah.
Right, because it came out so late. It came out December 23rd or 27th or something. And then I think at the time, Metal Gear 5 was my game of the year, but then once I finished this, or the first game, that definitely easy choice,
Mm-hmm.
It's on sale at the moment, both games on PSN here, and I might get the first one.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the collector's edition, which comes with a box that holds both the games, both 1 and 2. If you buy the collector's edition of the first game, comes with an art book, and then the box that holds 1 and 2 for 30, 35. But yeah, I guess I don't really know how much it is on PSN, but it's
£11 for the PS3 version and £12 for the Vita version.
Okay. I played on PS3. I wouldn't play it on Vita just because I think the load times might be an issue in Vita. Yeah, it's if you like story, if you like good characters and good story, if you like JRPGs, even the combat is very, very good. Oh, and the soundtrack, the soundtrack in the first game is fantastic, and it continues into this game. They do use some of the same themes as well because you go to some of the same areas, and the same towns that have the same themes. But there's some new battle themes, and they're just fantastic. I think they're probably the best there's one specific battle theme in this game that I think is like the best battle music, or my favorite of like any RPG. That's for sure.
If you can send me a link to that if you know it later on,
Oh
let
yeah,
me
I
know.
know. I know what it's called.
I just want to hear what it is, see what it's like. Because
Yeah.
I like listening to good JRPG
It's
music.
Falcom, so they do like Ease music, and I know
Yeah,
they're
well, yeah,
known
it's
for
pretty
having
much
a
a
really good
foregone conclusion
soundtrack.
there.
Yeah.
They're known for doing their good JRPG music.
Yeah. So yeah, that's mine. I guess I'll let you guys discuss yours because I already know what it is,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's a game that I
it's
don't
it's
have any interest in playing, although I do like the character designs.
yeah,
yeah.
damn
So
shame though, but
Well,
yeah,
it's
to each their own, I guess.
yeah, it's kind of surprising that me and Darren have the same game of the year for 2016,
Yeah,
which is
and the thing is though, like I didn't expect coming into like going into last year that this would actually end up being my game
no,
of the
me
year.
neither. Not even
Like I didn't
close.
really like I heard about the game like from beta, but I didn't really look at any gameplay footage or anything like that there. And then I did see gameplay footage. I was like, this looks interesting. And then there was like an open beta for like a few weeks before it came out. So it was, and I said, uh, might as well try this and see how it is. So and got played on the PS4, the beta. Said, yep, I really like this, and decided to I got on the PC, and I then talked about it on the podcast, and basically saying about the beta, and then you ended up getting the game on the PC,
Hmm.
and
Rest is
it ended
history.
up being the rest is history indeed. Because if you follow us both on Twitter, then you pretty much know
Yeah,
what our favorite game of the year is,
yeah. If you follow
because
us,
we
it's
talked about it because we talked about it pretty much on and off for the good majority of the year
yeah for the past since May,
since May.
good
Yeah, since it came out May,
since
which
May.
was a very good month because that was the month that Doom came out as well.
Exactly. Yeah. As for me, for my little part of history with, well, we should say that our game of the year is Overwatch, for those who haven't caught on yet. Um, but yeah, for me, the history with Overwatch is that I saw a couple of, a little bit of gameplay, and I think that first trailer, and I was like, oh, well, I don't know, characters are cool and everything, but I'm not really interested in that. So then I said, well, whatever, I'll just check it out. So I said I'll just keep an eye on it, and then well, the betas came out and people played the betas. You played the open beta. I didn't get to play the open beta, I think, because I had something to do that weekend or something like that. I didn't really get into it. Then I saw some gameplay on Giant Bomb, saw the other gameplay elsewhere. I said, yeah, this looks okay. I might, drop a couple dollars and get into it. You were buying it, so I said, okay, I'll check it out for
Yeah,
sure.
because I told you to get it
Yeah,
on.
you said you should get this game. I'm okay, sure. So I paid. Uh, I got it for pretty cheap. I got the Origins edition pretty cheap on the CD keys. So
Mhm.
I said, okay, well, I'll jump in and see how it is. And I never jumped out. Jumped in that game, and I never jumped out. Still playing it on the regular. Pretty much, I had a little lull at one point. Like stopped playing for maybe 2 or 3 weeks completely.
Yeah, like it was like a period I stopped playing it for a while as well, just to play other
Hmm.
games, though. But like I said, I've gone back to though again to play it like a good a few hours of it,
Yeah.
most days
Like there's a new map, there's a
because
new character, and I was like, okay, well, I need to check this out now. I need to see how the map plays and what the characters are like. And um, as Derek said, it's the character designs are pretty great. They're all pretty awesome. Um, we each have our favorites in the character department. We're really good at, or we really like, and it kind of varies depending on how I used to be a big Junkrat fan.
Yeah, like that was one of my favorites though when I first started though. Like Junkrat was one of my favorites when I played the beta and like started off when it came
Yeah,
out, and like I still enjoy playing him though.
yeah,
And sometimes I have a decent enough game with him though, but like most of the other times like I'm just getting demolished. I'm
yeah,
not doing as good with him as I used to be when it first came out. And then like that's the thing. You have your favorites, you have your mains, and then all of a sudden, okay, there's something happen. Okay, I'm gonna try this character out and see what this character's like. And all of a sudden, wow, this character's really good when and
yep,
that's pretty much what happened with me. Like Reinhardt, who's like a tank melee character, who was my main pretty much. He was the one I kind of used the most. Now it's Symmetra.
yep,
Um, I fucking love using Symmetra, and some people do say, "Oh, she needs nerfed. She needs she's a bit OP." Like in a way, yes, I guess I can understand that there.
hmm
But I think I'm actually quite good with her.
Since
Like, I get,
yeah, since they modified her, you see a lot of Symmetra play of the games now. Like plays of the
yeah,
game. Like it's pretty much very often that you'll see her appear in plays of the game a whole lot of times.
yeah, and that was the thing as well. Like I started using her shortly before that change happened
Hmm.
when she had got the extra ultimate and when her barrier thing, because that used to be where you were able her second ability was you just basically give your teammates like a bit of boost like armor. That was like her old ability, and then all of a sudden now it's the mobile shield where you just shoot it and just like like a mobile shield
Yep.
like barrier,
Hmm.
and like it's good against enemies. So it is when you're just trying to push and push or try to get an objective now. And then that shield thing we used to do give is basically our ultimate now, where you could switch out between her and the teleporter, and you can use it to place it somewhere, and every time and you get near it, then you get the 75 extra armor health then.
Yeah, yeah. Like
And like
my mains were, as I said, Junkrat, but then I switched to Diva, which is pretty much uh, the character I've played the most in this game. Like I really enjoy. I have a good understanding of how she plays and everything, and her ultimates and all that. Too bad they're gonna nerf her, but that happens. Um, and I used to play a lot of Lucio, a healer. Like played a bunch of Lucio. Then I started playing with Zenyatta a whole lot more, and now I really enjoy playing with Zenyatta, as I think he's more of an healer, but he's very very offensive. Like he with his orbs of discord that he sends, like that weakens enemies, and you can cut him down or shoot him down really really fast when they have that on them. So
yeah,
I think it's a good power up for him. So I've been enjoying playing as him a whole lot. So it
yeah, that's the thing.
varies pretty much
Yeah,
from time to time.
yeah, like the ones I tend to play through a lot were like Reinhardt, Torbjorn, and Symmetra, kind of like the three ones I like to
Hmm.
go through now. But like I like playing as a few other ones as well.
Yeah.
So I do like playing as May. Like the only ones I never really played, like I never play as Anna. Like I tried her once. It's like nope, just
Yeah.
sniper. I never good with snipers.
Anna and Widowmaker.
Widowmaker, yeah. Like I tried Widowmaker a few times, and I'm sure there's other better Widowmaker players out there.
Yep.
And like the more defensive characters, like the ones you have to be quite accurate, like with Genji, Hanzo, and the like. It's like yeah, if I had a mouse and keyboard, if I was playing this with a mouse and keyboard, maybe,
Yeah.
and I was any good with a mouse and keyboard, then I'll probably use those characters though. But
McCree, same
they're
thing.
just not McCree, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like I tried them with like controller, but it's just yeah, I think you're better off using like a mouse and keyboard for more of these sort of characters. You have to be a bit more accurate with, especially with Genji when you have to shoot like his shurikens and stuff like that.
Hmm.
There,
exactly. So yeah, we have our mains. You know, you can't be great at all the characters. You need to choose maybe
No,
two or three that you can, preferably from each category, that you can excel at playing. As because if you play quick play, you can only choose like you can't choose the same character as somebody else.
but
You have
that
to.
wasn't the case. So
That
when it
wasn't the
first came
case
out, you were able
before.
to
Yeah.
play multiple though, but then they switched that over though, and that's I think that's better now. Like you can do it though in arcade mode now,
Hmm.
where if you're doing like
It's
the
free for all.
no
Yeah.
limit, yeah, no limit arcade mode, then you can choose like multiple. You can have like six face against six Torbjorns or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. There's different modes in the game, like there's quick play where you just jump in, play as different
Just
characters.
yeah, just go straight into matchmaking,
Yeah.
and then there's like arcade mode. There's like different ones, like different
There's
like
3v3,
mystery
pretty much
balls.
TDM.
Yeah, it's like 3v3 elimination. There's one. I think they. I don't know if they. I think they might have gotten taken off though. I'm not sure now. They might
No, they're
have.
still there.
And
They're
what?
still there.
They're still there.
Yeah.
There's one like the 1v1 mystery. There's like 6v6 mystery where you respawn as a different hero each time, and also then there's like different arcade mode kind of randomized like the different weekly brawls I had as well, where you can choose a certain number of characters and stuff like that. There.
Yeah. And random and like randomized things like there's modes, I guess, that you can have. Like one of them is like five Reinhardts and one Lucio, or there's going to be like only Farah and uh, what's her name? Man, what's the name of the healer? The one that flies?
Mercy.
Mercy. Yeah. So you can have like only them are in the game and different modes like that, which I don't really care for, to be honest. But that's some people play a lot of that, and yeah, you can have your different types of modes in there, different types of maps. They keep adding on maps all the time, which is pretty
Yeah,
great.
there's competitive mode as well, which I don't care about.
Yeah, we
Like
don't
I
really
tried
care.
the first season and I basically won four and lost six, I think it was, or won six and lost four. I think one of the other way around. And then basically every match I did afterwards, I just lost
Hmm.
fucking really badly.
Yep.
And it's like, yep, competitive play is not for me. It's just like I'd rather just stick with quick play because I just rather have fun with this game and not take it too seriously. Because if I wanted to be taken too seriously, I would play competitive play exclusively. But all I just want to do is just hang out with you and Eduardo
Yeah.
and play a few hours of this and just have a good time. Even though sometimes you're gonna have your bad sessions
You're gonna
though,
get
but
crushed. Other times you crush the other team.
yeah,
It goes back
you
and
have your
forth.
good matches, you have your bad matches and stuff like that. There, it's like,
Pretty much any
and
shooter.
yeah. But great thing about this here is about Blizzard and Overwatch is it's not like all about kill death ratios now.
No.
It's all about like how well you do, like how well you heal, how well like
You
you block
defend, you block.
damage and
Yeah.
stuff like that. There, like, and also that like at the end of each match they show like the four things though, and like someone could get the thing up on there for like most damage block, like your Reinhardt, or best kill streak, or most eliminations, or
Yeah.
most healing and stuff like that. There, like it just rewards you for stuff like that there, rather than just like, oh, I got 50 eliminations and like two deaths or stuff like that. There,
Hmm.
like Call of Duty now.
Like the yeah,
So
yeah,
this is
there's like the rewards. They reward the top players, the top three or four players, and there's the play of the game, which is controversial sometimes, but I think it's gotten better than when it was at the very beginning. But yeah, it's sometimes a little controversial, but still great.
yeah. Some of them, like I've had plenty of played the game,
Yeah,
so and some of the ones I got is just like really. Like that it?
yeah.
Like I think I thought I'm sure someone else had better play than that.
Hmm.
Like I'm not saying all my play of the games are great. No, some of them are really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
And that's like that one play of the game. Okay.
yeah, exactly. It feels good to get a good play of the game, like you get quintuple kills, or you defend an objective really well, or something like that. So
Or
it's
the one you got with Sunyata there, where you just used your ultimate and
yeah, healed
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 everyone.
everybody and protected everybody with my ultimate, which was
Yeah.
pretty great also.
Yeah.
So yeah, this it's I mean it's just it's I haven't felt this way about a game in a long time. Like I was very happy when it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Like if it was another game, would be like, oh cool, my game won. But this one, I was like, oh man, yes, Overwatch. I was completely like freaking out because it won. Was very happy, and I haven't felt this way about I guess a first-person shooter, online first-person shooter thing in a long time. I guess since Unreal Tournament, I haven't felt the love that I feel for Overwatch. Uh,
Yeah, like I haven't stuck with a multiplayer shooter this long since like the original Modern Warfare,
yeah, yeah, for me, I think
and
it's Unreal
that's
Tournament. I mean, I love Modern
yeah,
Warfare and everything, but the passion and the love that I feel for
yeah.
Overwatch is it's been a long time since I felt this way about a game, but there's
Like
nothing
and
that could have replaced
that's
that.
it's for a multiplayer shooter as well,
Yeah,
exclusively a multiplayer shooter
exactly.
as well. Like I didn't expect that coming in. Like that's going to be my favorite game of 2016, but it was
Hmm.
because it's just so damn fun to play.
Exactly.
I'm sure people are going to say, "Oh, it's just it's exclusively multiplayer game shooter, shouldn't win Game of the Year and stuff like that." There, but yeah, like okay, you're entitled to your own opinion, but
Oh, it's a Team Fortress
this it
ripoff or whatever. That's
yeah.
whatever.
But the
Yeah.
fact is, a lot of people love this game,
Hmm.
and like you see the community of people like this is it's just a very fun, accessible first person shooter.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people have jumped into it and just had a lot of fun playing it.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons why I love it.
Yep.
Because of that there. Because you don't have to take it super seriously now.
Yeah. It's not a Call of Duty like the big esports type thing. It is an esports, but it's not as serious as you'll play Call of Duty or Battlefield or stuff like that. It's not taken as
Yeah.
seriously as those games. The characters are cool. Some of
Yeah,
the
it's just
interactions are not great. Like some of it is cheesy. I agree with that, but it's mostly the characters are cool. They're fun to look at.
yeah, it's just some of the just the personalities of the different characters, so
Yeah.
it's just great, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like each character is completely different. There's no two characters that are actually the same.
Hmm.
And that's why there's like that's why we pretty much love it though. It's just just an awesome game. Like
Yep.
I'll probably play it afterwards here.
Yeah, pretty much. We
Yeah,
could go on and gush about this, but we're gonna lose Derek if we
yeah.
continue on going. But
Dark, I think's gone anyway. It's like fuck this. I don't want to say it here for
I don't want to
an
hear
hour.
it.
Yeah,
But yeah, Overwatch is Darren and my number one game of the year, so it's pretty good. I think we can call him back if he wants to come back now, because this
yeah.
thing has been really long and we need to. Yeah, we're gonna need to
Okay,
edit.
I'm back.
All right, so we're done
Are
talking
we
about.
gonna not do the 2017 most anticipated since it's so long, or what do you?
No, I think we're just gonna
Uh,
run down a list and not, talk about the game pretty much. Like just say, okay, I'm
Okay.
anticipating this, and just run it down and pretty much be done with it.
yeah, because we've gone too long anyway. I think I've gone on longer than I thought we would,
Yeah.
but that's
So there, go ahead. What's your most anticipated 2017?
Persona 5.
Yeah.
not a surprise.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yup.
That's one of
Um,
mine.
that Berserk Dynasty Warriors game, which is
That's
on
like February, isn't it?
PC and Yep, that's on February. Yep. Super Robot Wars 5, and then they will finally ship my Super Robot Wars original generation Moon Dwellers on PS4. Uh, I know there's some other stuff, but I can't think of it all right now off the top of my head.
Neo.
Oh yeah, Neo, definitely.
That's one of mine.
Yep, yep,
That'll be a Darren and Derek game next month.
Yeah.
yep, yep.
It's pretty much one of yours.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty much a Dark Souls game in feudal Japan.
yep.
Dark Souls game with random loot drops.
Yep.
Yep. And we and Derek played the alpha and the beta. So we did. And
And Eduardo.
very
too,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eduardo as well played it. Very good. Hopefully the full game is just as good.
So, Darren,
like
what's
it.
your most anticipated?
Well, you pretty much know what my most anticipated game is.
Yeah.
There's no no doubt about that. It's of course Zelda
Call
Breath of the
Oh,
Wild.
right, yeah. Forgot.
What are you going to say there?
I was gonna say Call of the Wild for a second there.
All right.
That's a movie, I think.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that game. Horizon Zero Dawn is. I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. Can't wait for it. I put this in brackets now. If it makes its estimated December release, that's basically why I said it, because
Yeah.
that's the estimate deliver date it has on its Kickstarter. That's of course Shenmue 3.
Oh, okay.
You know I love Shenmue. Ni no Kuni 2.
Yep.
The first one was my second favorite game of 2013. Ukulele. Rare guys doing what they do best, like a charming action platformer. That just reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie. And expansion Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood, because I love Final Fantasy 14 around the one. I'm very much looking forward to the expansion. Yeah.
So,
So that's pretty much mine.
okay.
I
I
have
can
a
think
lot,
of.
but I just
Yeah, I got a
looking at a
couple.
list. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this. I forgot this. Forgot this.
Gotta run them down pretty fast. Those that are certain to come out: Horizon Zero Dawn, of course. Mass Effect Andromeda, which I'm looking forward to.
March.
Yep, close to my birthday.
I'd be surprised if that actually makes that. I'm feeling that's going to get delayed.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Those that haven't had a release date, but supposedly coming out in 2017: Crackdown, uh, Agents of Mayhem, which I think it's Saints Row 5, but
I actually forgot to mention Nier Automata after watching that demo on UPF. Although I was interested in it before because Platinum's doing it
so I got
on
eight.
Scalebound.
Okay, Agents of Mayhem. We'll see what that is. I'm interested to see what they. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Saints Row, but we'll see. Prey, Red Dead Redemption 2. This is far-fetched, but we'll see. And then just
That'll get delayed.
yeah, probably. And Injustice 2. So those are the
Oh yeah, I forgot that's coming out.
yep. Those
I will also mention God of War. Maybe, probably not.
yeah.
State of Decay 2, because that'll have co-op in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm interested in that.
Cuphead, if that actually comes out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Cuphead. Fuck's sake, that game's awesome. Yeah.
And I would have said South Park: The Fractured Butthole, but after that press conference, I don't.
Yep,
It'll
I'm
probably be okay, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not looking forward to that. I don't know. After that press conference, it's kind of scared me off a little bit.
Or Trey Parker and Matt Stone
Yeah.
just plugged the game like they didn't want to be there.
Exactly. Yeah. The gameplay doesn't look that great either, so we'll see.
It just pretty much looks like the first game,
Yeah,
just in a superhero setting.
exactly. So I guess that's it. You guys have anything else to say?
No, it's 4.5
No.
hours.
Okay. So I guess we'll shut this down. Thank you for listening, everybody, and thank you, Derek and Darren, for your top tens and all your opinions on all those video games. And I guess we will close it off so we can finish here. So thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you very soon with another podcast. Later, guys.
Bye.
See ya.